I somehow got my rating down to like 1226 by a couple weeks ago, and now it's all the way up to I think 1371.
Nice. That's quite a higher rating compared to
I want to get it up to. Yeah, it's not bad at all. I want to get it up to like in the 1500s because that's where I think I should be. But
1500s
might be a little ambitious, but I want to get there.
Well, it's very possible. I think the main challenge will be to probably avoid doing nonsense rather than, doing better things than you already do. And
that's the main challenge for me. Yes,
it's even the main challenge for me, if I'm honest.
Okay, all right.
So I said it many times in the previous streams. Like as long as you can keep avoiding bad moves, then it's gonna be good enough.
Yeah.
For the most part. Unless we're playing Grandmasters, in which case I will try to be as educational as possible.
Well, there's an international master I see at the top of the list here.
Oh, he's not just any international master. He's one of the best bullet players in the world. Not that it's gonna help him here, but yeah.
Dear God.
Yeah. He's crossed 3,200, I think, not so long ago on Lichess. I think it's an all-time record. And he's also streaming, probably. His name is Andrew Tang.
What's the highest rating you can get in Lichess? I didn't even know it went above 3,000.
The highest rating you can get in which time control? In the classical?
Just in any of them. Like I thought it capped at 3,000 for some reason.
There is no limit, as far as I know. In online chess, it also tends to explode a bit more, especially in bullet. Oh, and we have another international master.
Yes,
another one I know. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. I have to say something about the educational part. I feel like the most important part from like the challenge for me or for us is to choose an opening that will not lead to something too crazy. So I mean, if I don't even understand the position, how can I attempt to explain it?
Okay. And, so maybe we use the training wheels for the opening.
Training wheels, should I play some theory that I know?
Yeah, I'm saying like, what if you hold my hand a little bit more in the opening, and then once we get to the middle game, that's when you sort of try to lead me to the correct move on your own.
It might be the lesser evil, but it will still feel. I mean, I hope the viewers will be patient with it because it will not be so easy to explain all the subtleties of the opening theory. But hopefully, after 10 to 15 moves, we'll get rid of it. In case of the strong players.
Right. Okay. So in that case, I think we should definitely play the 4-pawn attack.
Yeah. The 4-pawn attack I actually played when I was younger, so I had a little bit of knowledge back when we played it in the previous time, but not enough. So I prefer for you to actually play your own openings in order to improve and gain experience. But okay, let's just maybe if we play against someone above 2200 or 2150, then we'll just play a little bit more theoretical in the opening, just to have a bit less suffering taking place later on.
Yeah. Well, I hope I don't get matched up. That would suck, man. I don't want to get matched up against these guys.
So I'll quickly remind myself, you, and the viewers about the two questions. It's very easy to forget. So the first one is, what does the opponent want? What is his threat, basically? What is the opponent threatening? This is the first question. Yep. The second question, assuming he has no threat, is which piece doesn't work. So we're going to apply it in the opening, first of all, and later on in the middle game as well. But opening is most important.
That's what I was doing last night, and that's the question that I was asking myself a lot that I wasn't asking before these lessons started, which is which of my pieces needs to be improved. And just asking myself that question alone has made such a difference in how I play. It's such a simple thing, too, and you'd think that you'd just know it right away, but it's easy to forget that when you're in a game.
Okay, so let me just quickly verify people can hear me. Yeah, nice. Okay, so...
all right, so we're up against 2117. So
trying to get your game. I see you're playing white. Just play regularly. Okay, he's not above 2150, so we'll stick to the regular thing. So,
okay.
but I will, of course, direct you to or try to steer towards calm positions.
Yeah.
So I can't
We
believe
like
there's,
compositions.
yeah, there's only 6 points between us. Okay, so
Is knight c3 the right move here, or would it be knight
one of the
f3?
many good moves, one of the top 3 main theoretical moves. Other knight c3. Okay, now just for the sake of simplicity, like let's take the pawn, so we don't gambit later on.
Okay. All right.
And now develop the bishop before we play e3, and then I will not disturb by saying.
We'll do it. We'll
exactly.
put it there.
See, exactly. We put it in the big center, as I said, like the 16 squares that create a square in the middle of the board.
So I should think about pushing h3 pretty shortly after here, right? Just to give my bishop some wiggle room here.
Not necessarily, but in principle, you're right. You don't want to allow knight h5 and let him get the pair of bishops. Okay, so now again, let's start from scratch. Pretend the game started now. What is he threatening?
So I think he wants to push to b5, right? And maybe bully my knight out of there. So if I can stop that just by pressing a4 here, right?
Yeah, you're right. But from our standards, it's not a big threat because I want to address threats to capture our pieces.
All right, so I'll just e3 then.
Yeah, so he's not threatening anything. You can continue your development. So this is correct. And of course, on higher levels, you want to like address the small threats, but you also want more time to look at all the subtleties and be able to tell the difference. So for now, we'll focus on the macro of the thing.
Yeah. So what's to stop him from just going knight h5 right now and just taking that bishop if he wants to?
The lady on d1.
The lady.
So
would b4 be better or would a3 be better here?
I think he's not threatening anything yet. So you can continue your development. b4 is not a big threat by him.
All right, so I'm gonna. That seems like a good spot for that bish.
And this is good. You have good intuition in this position. Normally we develop knights first. This is a principle, like a general strategical principle. But here, this is one of the exceptions where developing the bishop is better because you prevent his bishop from going to f5, which is a good central square. Okay, so he puts it behind the pawn. He's a little bit more passive than your bishop. Is he threatening anything?
No, so I'm just going to develop my knight.
Cool. So, again, he will probably develop something, yeah? And
now would be a good time for h3, right?
Is he threatening knight h5 though? I'm not too sure. I mean, maybe he does, but I think it's important to develop first. So the next step
is castle.
And now if knight h5, you can go bishop g5. So you will not have lost the pair of bishops, so to speak.
Now, okay, so if I want to take this open file, so why don't I just move this rook right there?
That's correct. I mean, there are many moves, but this is the one I would have chosen. Okay. And now he's still not threatening knight h5, but now he probably does because the bishop prevents bishop g5 from being played. So you know what to do.
I missed that. I was trying to.
Okay, so he's now finally threatening knight h5 because there is no bishop g5 taking place.
Right. Okay. So now I would do. Yep. There you go.
And by the way, this is one of the steps of regular development to make a window for the king. In my opinion, it's one of them. So now, is he threatening anything?
No.
Okay. So what's the next step in the development?
Would be to develop some of my pieces that haven't moved yet. So either my queen or my other rook. So like I'm thinking about queen d2.
I'm not sure which square is the best, but I feel like d2 can get hit by knight e4. So like with some tempo in the future or even immediately. And it's not necessarily bad, but I feel like you want the queen to be away from any tempo related issues. So
but I don't want to put it on c2 because if he puts his rook on the c file then my knight's pinned. And
you're very right. So it doesn't leave us many options. We want to move forward usually. And
All right, so we're gonna go here. Well, like I'm looking at B3 or E2.
yeah, I don't even know myself which one is better.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go B3 here.
Yeah, usually I
Let's see
don't
what
search
happens.
for which one is better when I'm thinking. I'm trying to eliminate one of them, in
Right.
which or play the more active move if I cannot. And this seems like the more active option.
So where did
yeah.
he? Oh, okay. So sometimes you're saying you look for the way that you described it is like which move. Oh, forget it. Never mind. So I probably want to double up on the rooks here. But I don't want him going there because that looks like a really good spot for him.
Yeah,
But then
knight
again,
c4 is an outpost that's very very nice for him. And I'm not too sure if there is a way for you to prevent it. I see a way, but I want you to find it. I'm not going to tell you. Basically,
yeah, no, I mean knight to D2.
it will not prevent it, unfortunately. At least, I mean, it will for one move, but not for long. And you don't want to move backwards. So basically, the problem with knight c4 is that there are two pawns protecting this knight, right?
Yes.
So anticipating this move, you can try to undermine his grip on the square. Exactly. And you of course have to foresee that this a4 pawn is protected twice.
Yes.
And I'm sure you have, but just for the viewers, I'm mentioning that he can capture it twice, first by the knight and then by the pawn, for example. And it's protected twice, and also the bishop on b7 is hanging. So, and now the regular move, the typical move for black will be b4, not to allow you to weaken his structure. And again, we ideally would like to move forward, but it's not possible. However, there might be some active ideas, but I'm not sure like if you want to complicate matters too much. So maybe we just think about like you have four squares that are not losing the knight. Generally speaking, I prefer to move as centralized as possible. Yeah. And just to mention, knight d1 is especially bad because it breaks the connection between the rooks. You want to maintain the rooks connected.
Yeah.
It's one of the principles in the opening, and one of the reasons we develop the pieces and castles. So the heavy pieces, the rooks, and sometimes the queen can have some connection protecting each other. Okay, so he develops. Is he threatening anything for now?
No, and I don't really feel like taking that. Well, I could take it, and then if he takes with his queen, I have a tempo if I slide my rook over.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
All right, let's do that.
If he could have taken with the rook, it wouldn't have been. But because it's a queen with tempo, then it's definitely a good idea. You develop... basically, by the way, it's not just a trade. You develop the rook from f1 with tempo. You see what you did there? You exchange the rook from f1 with the rook on c8.
So even though he didn't take with his queen, the rook still... That's a good spot for that rook anyways.
Yeah, you exchange your f1 rook for his c8 rook, and his knight is less active than it used to be. So you don't have any big threats, but you're obviously more active. Every single one of your pieces are slightly more active than his. And first question, is he threatening anything?
He's threatening my bishop, which is protected by my knight.
So from our point of view, he's not, for our purposes, not threatening anything big.
No, and we like to keep the tension a lot of the time. So
that's correct. So which piece doesn't work? And of course there are many answers, but which one can you improve with the least amount of effort? So like with one move.
Well, my knight on f3. No.
Yeah.
You think so?
It's one of those pieces. Where can you put it?
I can put it to d2, but we don't want to go backwards.
That's true.
I can put it on g5.
That's not very centralized.
Or I can put it on e5, but I don't want to do that because then it'll mess my pawns up, though. What?
You have a bish.
Oh, I have a bish. That's true.
So it's not a big problem. And also, I mean, you're right. I also don't want to mess the pawns up. But if he exchanges, it's not only that we didn't mess anything up, we also get the bishop pair. And actually his most active piece is basically this bishop on d6. Okay, you know what to do. You don't even have to mention. For the viewers, the opponent was threatening to take the bishop with the knight. And it's not winning material, but he will get the pair of bishops. That's something we'd like to avoid. And for the moment we have no threats. but it's very hard for him to play because his pieces are a little bit uncoordinated. You see, like the knight on h5, the knight on c8, it's like there's no communication on his side of the board. And the rook and queen are not developed. Okay,
what about, okay, he's pulling some shenanigans over here.
Okay,
so
no
what's his
threat
threat?
as
Is
far
he
as I can
threatening
see.
anything yet?
I don't
All right,
see
so
a
I
threat.
think I'm going to move my queen down to d1. What do you think about that move?
I don't like moving backwards in general.
all right.
So which piece can you improve with tempo? Like not with tempo, I mean with centralize with one move. Like which of your pieces?
My knight.
Yeah. So which is the central square you can come up with?
I was actually looking at knight c3 right now because of that pin pawn to see if I can grab his bishop. But then also
It's
we
not
have
threatening
knight.
anything though. So maybe move it to the center.
Okay. All right.
It's not necessarily a great move, but it's not that bad also. We allow him to kind of ruin our pawns, but in the process he will also exchange his only good piece. So it's like a trade-off that's not necessarily in his favor.
Yeah.
So as long as we keep improving our position, nothing bad should happen, even if we miss some of his ideas. As long as he doesn't grab a free piece or something, obviously.
I feel like I want to start playing 20-minute chess.
Yeah, me too. Maybe we'll do it in the future.
Yeah, that might be better in the future. I used to love and play chess exclusively on 5-minute time controls, and now I'm on 10-minute, and even in 10 minutes feels rushed to me these days.
Yeah, that's a positive trend that we see you going through. Hopefully your viewers will be inspired from it as well. Okay, so that's pretty obvious. Do you have a threat, by the way, if it's your move?
Yeah, I'm still attacking his knight.
Technically, it's protected, so...
Okay, so...
You have only one threat at this point, if it were your move.
Rook to c7?
I mean, think about pieces that you can capture first.
Oh, he's hanging a pawn there.
Yeah, because the bishop was protecting the pawn on b4, and it's no longer there. One of the two minuses of this bishop being gone. He was protecting. The second minus is obviously that it was a great piece and now it's gone. So he's left with bad pieces against good pieces that you have.
Rook to c7 is still pretty decent.
Yeah. It's a great threat. I just, when asking about threats, just for our purposes, I want to stick to the most basic definitions. And the first one is to capture things. Okay, so now you know what to do. Yeah, your rook c7 is a great move, and if you move to
a8, I need to be a little wary of the back rank.
That's true. But okay, now you have a nice idea to create a double attack. I'm not sure if I can imply it in a good way, but basically you can notice that the knight on c8 might be hanging, and there is another piece that might be hanging. If you you can basically attack two pieces in one move by bringing.
Okay, is it the queen or the bishop?
You can move the queen, yeah, but where?
C2.
Yeah, and then do you see the double attack?
The double attack at the... Oh, yeah, I like that, yeah, because then I'm attacking his h7 pawn.
And there is a nice tactic coming into place on the next move, bishop h7. If you can imagine it, after king h8, you have in mind the idea of rook f7, with knight g6 check, taking his queen.
Oh, my God, you are a genius, Tal.
I mean, he'll probably avoid it somehow, but yeah. I mean, it's pretty obvious when your eyes just are searching for hanging pieces, because like the knight g6 is an obvious idea, and the f7 pawn is protecting, so I just get rid of it.
Yeah, he doesn't like his position very much here, huh?
Okay, so we probably wanna grab his knight. We don't want to give material away. And
do I want to grab it with the bish or no?
Yeah, the bish is more active, and then your king will have this luft.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's good. Good thinking.
So h7 is no longer hanging, unfortunately. But does he have a threat?
Well, he wants to. I don't see him threatening any pieces, but he wants to take up that outpost. Well, that's not No, he doesn't
So
want to do
I'll
that
quickly
yet.
mention, because we're a little bit low on time, that queen c5 is an idea, but then a4 is hanging, so you can like overprotect it, preparing queen c5. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was looking at queen c5 too. That's
Yes.
what I
Yeah.
had.
Now d4, your bishop is hanging, so if you could move your bishop from being hanging, it would be with tempo. It would be a great achievement.
How's my bishop hanging?
I mean, if you capture his pawn, that's his only idea.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
So if you could move it, like
Yep,
this.
yep,
So
yep,
now
yep.
his queen has to move, and it cannot protect both d4 and h7 simultaneously. So for example, queen
Yeah.
d8 maintains the control on d4, but then h7 will fall. Yeah.
All right, so let's just take that check while we can.
Yeah. And,
Should I exchange? No, I don't want to exchange bishops.
well,
That's a bad
we
idea.
should probably take on d4 before this pawn is causing us too much trouble.
Take on d4.
Yeah, because he has some
Okay.
threats involving d takes e3 and so on.
Yeah.
And then your bishop on h7 is a little bit loose, so you want to maybe bring it to safety somehow. Okay, he's trying to get rid of it, but you know how you can try to punish him?
I can just take the pawn and
Yeah.
bust up his king side there.
But be
That's
careful,
what I'm gonna do.
be careful. Just don't take twice, because if you take twice, your rook will be lost. So you want to take it
Okay.
once, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
And now, of course, he has some great compensation, but your rook on c7 is hanging, so I'm thinking to move it away from being hanging. Do you see a good square?
Yeah,
I think-
I'm looking at a7.
Correct, because you don't want to go backwards, as mentioned. Now queen g6
Alright.
is a huge threat. He'll probably play queen d5, threatening mate in 1, to which you probably have to go f3 or f4,
Yeah.
to protect with the queen. It's not too pleasant, I would say.
So just f3 here.
Yeah, I guess. And if queen takes d4 check, then king h2 to safety.
Okay.
Although bishop f2 is also interesting to attack the knight behind the queen. Yeah, he will probably not take, and then so queen g6 is a very big threat. By the way, queen c1 followed by queen h6 check is another idea.
Yeah. Okay.
And queen
All right.
c7 is another one. Okay, so now this is a good move. I'm not too sure if I like this or bishop f2 more. Both are very good looking, I would say. Okay, now you know your threat is queen g6, after which he's done. He's threatening your rook. This is his only idea. You can protect it with tempo. Do you see? But then e5 is hanging with check. I thought about bishop f2. Okay, so you want to move the rook without losing it, so you don't have many options. Yes, correct. And now queen c1 is an idea, queen g6 is an obvious idea. Not too sure if black is better or not, but it's easier to play.
This is a tough game here.
It's easier for us to play. Okay, we always have a tough game on the first round for some reason with these pairings, as I've noticed. Okay, so he protected you from your idea, so you remember what was your other idea?
Yep.
Yeah. And a minute and 10 seconds left. Okay, he protects. You want to move the queen to an active square without losing it. Maybe I'm thinking about c4. Maybe looking at h4.
Yeah.
Queen h4 is a mating idea.
Yep. You can just push this pawn there, though, right?
Yeah, but then queen c2 back, and h7 is once again hanging. Like the pawn
Okay.
is not blocking.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's protecting. Probably we want to bring our bishop along. Do you see a way to bring the bishop? It's not so easy, but okay, I don't see a great way to do it. Okay, he has many active pieces. Let's bring the queen to an active square forward. Do you see an active square without losing it?
Yeah.
Correct. One of the many options. He's also under pressure. Don't exchange queens. Move it forward to an active square without losing it. Yeah, threatening mate. If he goes back, you can go queen takes a5. Yeah. And then follow up with queen a7 back.
If he tries to exchange, then I can. He wouldn't exchange, right? Because he would drop his bishop there.
Okay, so now you can win a piece. Do you see how?
Yeah.
Okay, and queen a5 is hanging. I mean, the pawn on a5.
Yep.
Yeah, and now we just want to be careful with time. So maybe take another pawn. And queen h4 check is in the air.
No.
Oh, he made it, but you have this queen h4 check coming next, so you're okay. You can move the king, queen h4 check, g4, g takes h5, and basically offer a draw or something, queen f2. I don't know, there's no time, just pre-move.
No, shit.
It's okay. It's okay.
That's a terrible move.
It's okay. I mean, we kind of...
Oh, I'll take it. I'll take the draw. He offered me a draw.
Nice. Okay.
Did he do that out of charity, or what did he do that
Okay,
for?
I'm not sure if we can call it charity. I think he realizes that his position is losing.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want to win based on time. Even though according to the rules he can.
Okay.
I mean, I also do it sometimes. I mean, it's or receive this kind of charity because yeah.
I almost missed that draw too. I didn't see that he had offered that for a second there. Here, let me call out some people that subscribed. I'll be back in about 1 minute here.
No problem. Okay, so I started streaming a little bit late. I had some technical issues for my viewers. Thanks for all the positive feedback in the chat. Wow, already 200 people watching. It's amazing. I didn't even announce it anywhere. So we'll have a next game very soon. So for those who don't know by now, Hutch is a YouTube star. Sorry, I'm choking on peanuts. At least I'm not allergic. So he's a YouTube star. He has almost 1 million followers. It's called subscribers on YouTube. And I personally think he deserves much more. But based on other channels I've been following. Are you back?
Yep.
Okay, so let's get back to the tournament.
Yep.
In the meantime, I was choking on peanuts.
Well, that's not good. You don't want to do that.
Yeah.
George W. Bush almost choked on a peanut one time.
Wow.
True
Never
story.
heard this one.
It's a true story. Yep.
So I mean, like, it's not a terrible way.
He berserked.
I hate when they do it. I don't know why. It makes me feel so dishonored. Good move. Okay, he's threatening your pawn. Don't rush, by the way. I noticed that when I play against people who are fast, I tend to rush as well. You still have the same 10 minutes. Okay, is he threatening anything?
No.
Okay, which piece do you want to develop?
I want to develop my dark squared bishop, but for some reason I want to put her on e7. Or would you prefer a more active square?
I prefer to be more active whenever I'm not being punished.
Right.
Okay.
So we'll lock this up now, or should I push a6 first?
Okay, so is he threatening anything?
He's not.
Okay, so there's no reason to avoid the...
Nothing in this life will come for free, so get out your wallet, shake your dollars with me.
Sorry about that.
Need the dollar.
You can hear
A
it?
dollar is what I need.
Mute myself in the meantime. Sorry about that.
That's all right. Should I castle here, or should I stay flexible?
Castle.
Castle. Okay. All right.
Still new to all this donations thing. Okay, so...
Oh, you have donations coming in? Is that what it is?
Yeah, did you hear it?
No. You can turn... Are you using Streamlabs, by the way?
Yes. Okay, so...
Yeah, you can turn the volume down on that.
I'll try to do it in a moment. So he's threatening d4. Can you avoid it while developing a piece?
He's... I'm sorry, b4? Is that what he's threatening? Or d4?
He's running d4 with tempo on your bish. So you can develop a piece while preventing d4 for one move. Do you see how you can develop?
Why would he push b4? Why wouldn't I just take it there?
He will take with a pawn, and he will still develop with tempo on your bishop. So I like to develop a piece while preventing d4, and I see a nice idea to do it. I mean, relatively sound developing move. What do you have in mind?
I'm still confused if you're saying d4 or b4. I don't know why
so
he would.
He wants the pawn from d2 to d4.
Okay, I thought you were saying b. All right.
Yeah,
I couldn't.
Me. So.
That's a good question. So, develop a piece. So, are you thinking of my queen?
Yeah. Or another piece.
Oh, okay. Yeah. We can work off the pin, right?
Yeah, with which piece? Exactly.
Yeah. All right, I see what you're saying. I got
Yeah.
real confused there.
I'll call out the names, by the way, between the games, if it wasn't clear. Okay, and he didn't
just
see
gonna
your
take it.
point. He just gave you a free stuff. I don't even want to say pawn because you're gonna get so much more. If
Yeah, this is not good for him. This is really not good for him.
yeah.
That was probably one of the worst moves he could have done, I think. So I'm just gonna take that. Should I take with the rook or the bishop if he takes this here?
Wait, wasn't his knight hanging?
Shit.
I mean, there's no reason to complain when we are 2 pawns up, but still. Okay, 3 pawns up. Maybe.
All right, let's do it.
Okay, now, okay. This is a little bit different from our usual scenario when we think about developing exactly. So what I was about to say is that we want to strike the iron while it's hot when we have the initiative. Now be careful, don't rush. Don't rush. He doesn't have a big threat at this moment. As far as I can see.
What about
So as far as I understand, you want to bring another piece to the attack. There is one
Yeah.
piece that can be brought very easily. Can you name it?
my bish?
Or?
My queen.
Okay. Don't play it yet, but which square do you have in mind?
For queen, I was looking at f3,
F6, yeah.
f6,
But-
yeah.
So let me say something about this square. You have
He's got a
a huge
Okay,
threat
go
of
ahead.
queen f4 check, yeah, after you play queen
Yep.
f6. However, he could play knight d5 and protect this square while attacking your queen. Do you see?
Yeah, that's what I was looking at. Yeah.
However, what can you see there? Try to calculate. So
I would.
queen f6, knight d5. What do you have there?
What do I have there? Yeah, I'm not sure, Tal.
There is a pin before he played knight d5. Do you see the pin?
Before he plays.
Queen f6 doesn't only create this
Okay,
threat.
yeah. Okay, then I would take his bish.
Exactly. So we don't play queen f6 unless we make sure that it works. And now we have.
All right. Okay. All right.
Of course, we might be missing some defensive move, but I just wanted to demonstrate how calculation is usually being done. And if you couldn't have refuted it in advance, you don't play queen f6.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And yeah, okay. So he prevented your threat of queen f4. But what might happen now?
So, I'd like to get his fucking knight off of f3. Excuse me.
It's a funny comment because there is a very big minus to the move he just made.
Jeez. Okay.
You can
All right,
get
all
rid
right.
of the other
I
side.
just don't want to take that knight for some reason. I just, no matter how many times he offers it to me, I just don't want to take it.
Yeah. Okay. Good game. I hope I wasn't too blunt in telling you the right ideas. I was trying to.
No, you were. That was good. That was good. You made me think it through. That was good.
Yeah. So I'll for once call out some names. Growing up. Okay, so it will take me some time because I need to connect to my program. It will take me a moment. Okay. Man, should have prepared it in advance. Okay, let's see if it works. It should work any second now. He didn't start the game. He probably. So PJ Pablo donated $5 and with a message, I learned so much from watching your videos and collabs with Hutch. Please keep them coming. Thanks a lot. I truly appreciate it. And it's not only about the money, it's about the...
Propius with 25 months. Look at you, man. Thank you very much for that.
Okay, I'm back.
Okay, do you want me to tell you how to turn your notifications down? Do you know how to do that?
Yeah, I was like scared like crazy. I'm almost like jumped from the chair. I'm also
So
wearing headphones, so I feel like I'm deafened.
So you go to alert box.
Oh
You
yeah,
see
yeah,
how on
I've
the
done
side?
it. Yeah, I already know.
Oh, you already have done it. Okay.
No, I
good,
just
good.
didn't know the direction. You're like asking me the right question, and then I make the move. That's nice.
What?
You
Oh,
use the same method
okay.
on me.
Yeah, to fix your notifications. Yeah. All right, I'm gonna jump back into this tournament here.
Okay, so I'll do it while we are here. Hopefully, I
Yeah, so
won't be too distracted.
So you go to alert box, and then you go to this. There should be tabs for like subs,
Yeah.
donations, and then there's a volume slider on the bottom.
Yeah. So,
All right, D4.
Okay, so develop. Ah, you're white. Okay, I thought he played D4. I'll see in a moment.
Yep. I got it from here. It's only a 1600
It's on
rated
you.
player. We're good.
Fly, my baby. Spread your wings.
Oh, you make me laugh, Tal. All right. Do
Oh
that
my
again.
god. The sound is on 2% and I almost died. Okay, let's make it on 1% or 0.
Okay, here's where I need help in the opening. What's the best move here? What about just pawn takes?
For sake of simplicity, once again, let's just develop the knight, because if you take with the pawn, then he takes with the knight, and now he still cannot really grab your pawn too effectively. I mean, he can probably do it without paying a huge price, but it's not like he's gonna be a pawn up forever. Okay, this is uncalled for, as you've heard before, yeah?
Not good. He's not respecting his bish.
Yeah, you have to respect the bish. Okay,
So
now
what if I throw a queen check and then grab the pawn?
I'm glad you said it, because this is the solid way to approach the situation. The gambit way is to play e3 and to allow b5 and then play for the initiative. But as mentioned, you want to keep it simple.
Yeah, I don't want to let him grab that pawn. Do you play the queen's gambit?
With white I do. Yeah, with black I think it's a little bit passive. I want to create madness when I'm playing on my own. Yeah.
So do you favor e4 or d4 to start?
It's a little bit of a tricky question, because e4 is traditionally the more attacking move, but recently everyone are playing the Berlin and the Caro-Kann, and these are very calm openings. So the d4 is my choice, because for some reason, theoretically speaking, it's easier to play aggressively there, even though for the past 100 years maybe it was considered to be the positional move. So d4 is my favorite.
What's he threatening? Nothing. So time to bring out my other bish.
Very true. But in this case, it's a tough question whether I want it on e2 or d3. d3 sounds like a better square, but like it will also be hanging on the d file in some cases, and maybe if he ever pushes e5, e4 can kind of double attack, fork the knight and bishop. So in this kind of structure, when you have the pawns e3, d4, c3 with the bishop on f4,
yeah,
I usually like to put my bishop on e2, just to be solid.
Okay, all right. So what's he threatening? Nothing. I imagine he wants to go down to b2.
Yeah,
which would be
ironically now it makes more sense to do what I said. I would prefer to avoid, because it will help you prepare rook b1.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
To punish him. But it's this kind of subtleties you can spot on your own, obviously. But I feel like,
what with me being a genius and all, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I had to imply it heavily to compensate for saying it's not the right move earlier. Like I was.
All right.
Yeah.
No, you're doing a good job today. You're not
Yeah.
You're not
I'm
calling
also
out
improving.
yes. You're becoming a great teacher.
Yeah, that's my hope. Teaching is one of my passions. So, you know what is his threat?
Yeah, I don't want to give up my bish. Does he have any other?
You want to generally move forward, but which is the most, let's call it,
Prevent him
powerful.
from castling. Let's go.
That's correct. The bish is on fire, as you can see. I mean, this guy is like a bone in his throat.
What does that mean?
Okay, he's choking on this bish, on D6.
Yes. Okay. I see
None
it
of his
now.
pieces can move. I mean, usually when a piece is like stuck in his camp and he can't do anything about it, I like to refer to it as a bone in the opponent's throat.
What about okay, so obviously I want to castle, but what about E5 then E4 then E5 and then solidify the bish?
That's very nice. And
Oh,
first
well,
of
he already
all,
beat me to it
he
then.
played this move. He's not ready to castle, but he wants to harass the D6 piece, and by playing knight C8. So you can't really do much to avoid it, but what you can do is to develop with tempo. Yeah, as we mentioned, tempo is gold, especially in the opening.
Develop
And,
a tempo.
Yeah. So every single chance is good.
These principles like tempo, like I knew what that was before when I was studying chess when I was first getting into it, but I haven't really understood just how important it was until we started doing these lessons. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. And I also learned things better, apply them better when first of all, he has a hanging something, so I won't mention exactly.
He's hanging a pawn.
Yeah, so is there a reason to avoid it?
No, not that I'm aware of. I can't see any.
Yeah, there's no reason. And the rook is ideally placed on the 7th rank, so even if there was no pawn there.
Oh, wait. But if he goes, oh no, that's not good. If he went to bishop, I was thinking bishop to c8, but that wouldn't be good for him because he would drop his queen probably, or his knight. Yeah.
Rook e7 check, yeah, or even bishop e7. Yeah. So where was I? I was saying something.
Oh, he did it. He just gave it to me.
Yeah.
This is real bad for him.
Yeah, you can pre-move bishop takes e7 just to show him how cool you are. Okay,
oh, he didn't do
no.
it? All right, so now I'm going to do that.
X-ray. This is something I like to refer to as X-ray. And not so surprisingly by the bish.
Nice.
It's the same piece.
All right.
That, yeah, he's a hero, this guy.
Good game. Yeah, he went for it. He really went for it. You can't take that away from him.
You see how important it is to bring the bishops out of the pawn chain. They can cause some mayhem.
I still don't understand why people don't just swing knight to h5 right away and just
because
take that
bishop
bishop.
g5 and
okay,
in a sense your piece, even though it moved twice, its position is still okay, and the knight on h5 is just being badly placed. It's like moving the knight away from the center with tempo, but then you're still stuck with the knight there.
Yeah.
So the only justification if there is no way for you to avoid the trade. If you can avoid it, then knight h5 is usually just a waste of a move, or if you want to be precise, half a move, because it's with tempo. So seems good so far. I guess Hutch is calling out some people who are supporting him. In the meantime, I'll ask him about the holidays when he's back.
The holidays? What's that?
Yeah, the holidays have started. Do you know which holiday it is in Israel right now?
I don't know. What is it?
It's called the Passover. And, last year I made a video on more or less the same day as it is now in the year, and I called the video "Power of the Matzah." Have you ever heard of this food called matzah?
I've heard it. I've never tried it though. I'm not sure what it is either.
On my end of the stream, I'm showing like pieces of matzah I prepared. I also have it in that video, and I have this small tradition to bring some food that's related to the holiday, even though I have nothing to do with religion, but to bring the food to the stream to have an excuse if I lose.
Yeah, I was raised Catholic, so I'm not sure why. I'm obviously not a very good practicing Catholic these days because I couldn't.
What do you
remember
call it?
past.
Like the Easter?
Well, no, we celebrated Passover in the Catholic Church too. We recognized it. Yeah. Did you ever see the movie Munich?
Not really.
It's a movie about the Munich Olympic Games when they had that terrible
Oh,
terrorist attack. You remember that?
I've read about it and learned about it, but not the movie.
One of my favorite movies of all time. A good chunk of it takes place in Israel too, so you might enjoy it. Let's get back into this. Let's get back into the tournament here.
Let me write it down so I don't forget.
It's directed by Steven Spielberg. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. It's really really good, especially if you're a history buff.
Watch it. So, yeah, it's funny because technically or not so technically, I've also been participating in an Olympiad representing Israel. So it's absolutely like one of my worst nightmares, obviously, like what happened there.
Yeah. I mean, it's a very somber topic, but I mean, the movie is. I'm a child of history. I love just reading up on what happened back in the day,
Nice.
even the bad stuff. So, all right, D4.
Cool. It's funny. Yeah. In Passover, we are usually celebrating by eating together, and like all the family. And yeah, this year we didn't do it. Partially, I think, because I set up this amazing stream that we're doing.
Yeah.
So thanks for helping me have a great excuse. Okay,
Yeah.
so he's threading your pawn.
Yeah. We're just gonna do it like that.
Having a great excuse to play chess. Now he's still attacking your pawn.
Yeah, he is. So what if I just do F3?
This is a great move. I would have played it myself also. Just quickly we'll mention a move that's a little bit inferior but also okay is to develop the bishop from c1 to g5, but then we'll have to trade it later if he goes h6. So this is like, it was also possible, because to beginners I recommend not to move these pawns if you don't fully understand all the consequences. But still, I love this structure. This structure is something I like to refer to as my religion, with a pawn on f3 and on e4.
I like it too. It's very aesthetically pleasing. I like looking at it.
Yes.
We still have bishop to g5 or g5.
Yeah.
I like queen to c2 looks good too, because if I push that pawn, I can boot him off the defending square on f6 and then grab that other pawn.
So do you know what's the typical move now?
Probably just to push the pawn.
Yeah, you want to grab space.
Yeah. All right.
And avoid weakening the dark squares in the process. Now, sooner or later, we'll trade this bishop on b4 for a knight, which will also favor you quite significantly. And
his bishop on c4 for a knight.
I love this structure so much, especially with the knight on e2, followed by castles. It's just better for white, no matter what happens. And,
so if he takes a pawn, would it be better to take with the e pawn or the c pawn?
That's a good question. Normally, there is no harm for taking towards the center. But sometimes taking with the e-pawn is better because there is no dynamics afterwards. So if there are problems with c takes, then e takes is like the solid option. Both cases, white is better. Okay. No
I like
threat.
queen c2 right now.
I don't think we need to rush. I mean, there's no threat.
You don't think so? All right. What about just castling?
I mean, it's not a bad move, but it's just that we prefer to be flexible. We're gonna castle either way, so we might as well start by castling and then change our plans according to what he does.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so no real threat. He does want to play knight e5, but we don't mind him trading this bishop because it's quite bad. Correct? You want to develop to the most active square.
I'll probably push a3 on the next one, just forces bish to make a decision.
I have a funky idea. First of all, you don't want to give up the bish.
Nope, but I do want to keep that pin though. So
yeah,
I'm
and
gonna
if he goes g5, then you will have he will have weakened this king. And, just a quick funky suggestion: instead of a3, a sneaky move would be rook b1. I'm not sure it's good, but I like it. It's like rook b1, kind of preparing a3, and then if he goes bishop a5, he will trap his bishop with b4.
Yes.
So it's like implying.
And even if he doesn't trap it, I'll still have a rook on an open file, which will be good.
Yeah.
If I take with the pawn.
I mean, a3 makes more sense, if I'm honest, but I'm attracted to creative-looking moves.
All right, I'm going to follow your guidance on this one. I trust you.
No, it's not necessarily better. It's not even a trap. It's just some, a matter of taste. This is like one of the reasons I like to refer to chess as an art form, because you can have your own taste and aesthetics are in the eyes of the beholder.
Yeah.
And,
I just watched Searching for Bobby Fischer again this weekend. I love that movie. One of my favorite movies.
So I'm several views behind you on this movie.
Oh, you still haven't seen it?
No, I have Munich ahead on my list.
It's really good, man. Sometimes they do whenever they show chess in movies. Sometimes they just don't get it right. Like literally, the board won't be set up right, and you can tell that the filmmakers didn't really.
Yeah.
Okay, so I should just push A3 here right now, right away, right? Or still B1?
Wait. It's a great move, just generally speaking, but you can be a little bit more sneaky because his move A5 kind of limited his bishop. So if you could like do something sneaky, I will not tell you what exactly.
Ooh, okay. Knight to B1.
Think prophylactic master who moves forward.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, this is tempo on D6.
And he's in trouble. That bishop is in trouble. He needs to push like A5 here or something, doesn't he?
A4, yeah, but then D6 is hanging.
This is great.
Once again with tempo on the bish. I mean, his bishops are not having fun today.
No, his bishops are terrible. Look at him.
Yeah, when your bishops are terrible, your life is terrible.
Yeah, no, a lot of movies they won't even set up the board right, or like okay, so I should probably take that, right? Or should I push him back first?
Maybe it's a good idea to just grab.
Just grab it, huh?
I'm a pawn grabber myself, although I prefer the initiative.
But, yeah, well, this gives me the initiative too, right? Because I have tempo on his bish.
Now, by the way, he has no threat as far as I can see. And I know it's tempting. I would want to take the A4 pawn in some cases, but think more like, as I said earlier, striking the iron while it's hot. So, like, you don't have to like win immediately, but your knight on D6 is like a bone in his throat, as I mentioned earlier. And like you want to keep it there. So how can you reinforce this knight? You suggested the exact same plan in the previous game to reinforce.
So F4 and then E5.
Exactly, and it's also going to kind of pose pressure on him with the pin.
Yeah.
So
that's a lovely spot for that knight. I love. But then if he goes down, the thing is, okay. If I push the pawn and he goes to like E8.
I mean, where does he move his queen? Like this. Okay. So, I mean, there is no problem whatsoever. You're reinforcing your knight. The longer the knight stays there, the more blood that will be spilled.
So, I'm thinking I should just take. If he goes back, just take and then push that pawn, grab space,
he goes
right?
98. Okay, he doesn't go back, but he has a threat. Do you see his threat?
He is threatening to fork my queen and rook.
Yeah. And, you want to move forward while preventing this threat without losing any piece, of course. So, do you see an active move to prevent this?
Rook to F3?
Correct.
God, I'm a genius. I am a genius, Tal.
And you played Queen C1, which is another interesting way to prevent it. After ED5, you will not be able to play CD5 because your bishop on D3 would be hanging.
Oh, I see, yeah.
So, Rook, and again, you don't have to see all the variations as long as you move forward and follow the principles. Okay.
Oh, okay.
He's a master of tactics, but materially speaking, it's not that bad for you. You have to take, I think. Otherwise you lose more material. Yeah, so now he has a double attack on your knight and your rook.
So what about rook to G3? Is that too ambitious?
We don't want to give up the knight. We prefer to give up the exchange.
You don't want to give...
It's less material to give up the rook for a knight.
Oh, I see.
I have a sneaky move in mind. I'm not sure if I have a good way of mentioning it, but it's like a tactical move.
Okay, all right.
So you can kind of protect your knight on D6, but in a very, very active way. Do you have any idea that it comes to mind?
In a very active way.
Yeah, it's like, okay, there's no way to find this move unless you solve tactics and have this sharp eye for the pieces that are hanging.
Well, give me 20 seconds to look at this.
Sure. It's not necessarily the best move, it's just cool, yeah. But maybe it's best to keep it simple because, again, it's not the best move. So, so what is the civilized way to handle the knight being hanging?
What about bishop to g3?
Yeah, that was the move I was thinking of, but then, I mean, he takes with the queen on d6 and it becomes very sharp. And, well, I'm not sure if it's even correct. So I prefer to just do what we originally wanted and keep the knight alive somehow.
Keep the knight alive. So I could go back with tempo to b5?
That's a good move generally, but it's not a tempo if you can capture it.
Oh, that's right. Well,
So
I guess just knight back to e4 and then give up the exchange there?
Yeah, that's a great move. And,
but then my pawn structure is all fucked up after that.
Yeah, but you have two knights and, well, they are sneaky, I tell you. The knights are sneaky.
Okay.
You're gonna have a plan of king h1 and bringing a rook to g1 also. And you have like 4
Oh,
pieces.
Yeah, I see
you will
it.
get your queen c2 finally.
Yeah, I guess the way that we have compensation over here is that his light squared bishop is literally doing fuck all.
Well,
his
the word
dark squared bishop
is not very precise because we are leading by material. So,
yeah, I guess we are, huh?
he gave up 2 knights for a rook and 2 pawns, and we were a pawn up beforehand. If I
just have so many. Okay, all right.
Okay, let's just keep it simple.
If I take, then he could take. Well,
yeah, everything is protected. I think there is no reason. Yeah, and you can pre-move queen takes d3. Okay, no much choice in this regard. And by the way, remember saying earlier, if you asking me if you should have played a3 before everything and forced the bishop to a5. This was a brilliant suggestion because his bishop on a5 would have been worse now. So
yeah,
it was a good subtlety, but I was like on a simplistic mindset. Okay, so
what about knight e2 to g3?
it's a good move. I would prefer to prevent his queen takes b2 threat in the process, but I mean it's a matter of taste. I think knight g3. Okay, let's keep it simple. You can move the knight to c3, like just to avoid queen takes b2.
Oh, okay, all right.
I mean, it's his only threat for the moment, and like for now, if it's your move, you would want to play bishop g3, queen to d2, maybe king h1, rook to g1, if possible.
Okay, all right, yeah.
That's a general placement of your pieces. Okay, but obviously, attacking your knight, you can move with tempo, like. I mean, he didn't really prevent the idea from the previous move that I mentioned. Yeah? I mean, it was part of the plan. Yeah, and if he goes f4, then his diagonal will be very weak. So in a way, okay, you have to be alert of some tactics. He cannot move with check. If he could, it might have been a problem. But if he has to move backwards, then bishop g3 is a good intermediate move.
Yeah.
Okay, and now, after he moves the queen, you obviously want to move your knight, and you want to move to the center if possible.
Okay.
So, I mean, as centralized as possible. So, I guess we forgot to mention in this particular stream that we have permission to do it, like to play together, yeah?
Yeah,
for those
yeah.
who didn't notice. Like this is a specialized tournament for these purposes, and it's only on this site with special permission, and every single one of the players in this tournament is able to consult a human player if he wishes. Okay, so no threat. You can probably move the knight to an active square that you find good. What do you think?
I think probably f2.
Forward, my friend.
Can't go forward. Where am I going to go? I can't go forward. You're nuts. How am I supposed to go forward?
I ate nuts, but I'm not crazy. So I think you can go forward because the bish is protecting.
Ah, I see.
And
Yeah,
forward.
I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Oops.
So now he's attacking your knight, and you have to handle it. He doesn't have any, like, many squares, but there is one that doesn't lose the knight. Beware of the time. So, which is the square you can run away to?
I don't know.
B5.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah.
King h1 is the rational.
But now he pushes this pawn and I lose my bishop.
That's true, but I anticipated.
Oh, no, he can't. It's pinned. It's pinned.
I
It's pinned.
anticipated
It's
the
pinned.
pin. I agree that you should have seen it in advance, but I mean, we didn't. We'll play 20 minutes next time and just we'll chill. We'll have time for cocktails while explaining everything.
Yep, I need to be wary of my queen being on d4 here too, because then he has
That's very
yeah,
true.
he has a skewer.
Important.
Maybe it's time to get my king over to h1.
Yeah. Speaking of alerts, it's important to be very alerted to these tricks. Bishop on c5 will pin your queen if you put it on d4. Okay, king h1 is coming next if he doesn't create any big threats, and I don't even see a way for him to do so. Okay, he created a threat. Do you see it?
Yeah. So
You
probably
want to move
just
forward. Where can you move forward?
back to the spot where it was.
There's an even better square.
Oh, look at that! Look at
Yeah,
that!
if queen e3 check, you have bishop f2 maybe, with tempo. Yeah.
And
And then
he
he
can
goes queen
skip back.
g5 check,
Yeah,
and you
yeah,
go
yeah.
king h1. So you kind of
Yep.
gain the tempo for this. And I mean, now, normally speaking, I would like to find a good square for my queen. Okay, first of all,
I still have a threat. I still have a threat
if
on,
rook e7,
on.
you can play bishop takes b6. Yeah.
Well, there's also knight e6 too.
Oh right, yeah, I didn't even see it. Good eye.
Yeah.
So,
That's why they pay me the
bishop
big
b6
bucks.
Yeah. So 96, bishop b6, everything seems hanging, and I remind you that your material up even before this sausage fest. I don't know. You're just gonna grab all his pieces, all of his heavy pieces.
All right, I still like this move. I'm gonna do it.
Okay, you wanna do it with tempo?
Oh,
but be
but then-
careful. No.
Yeah.
Just grab.
He's going for a mate.
Just grab whatever it is that he gave you. You have a hanging rook on a8. Yeah.
All right.
And because 96 he will have threatened mate with tempo, yeah?
So
He
he's
did
still
it anyway,
threatening
but
mate.
now at least we grab the rook and we can defend. So there are several ways to defend.
Queen to g1.
Yeah. It also kind of develops the queen in the process. You want to go queen g2 and rook g1. Even though we missed queen takes f3 check, I also kind of didn't see it. But we have
he
so
wants
much
to-
material up. So, okay. Let's just defend somehow. Let me think. Okay. So, a decent idea will be like to try to exchange his bishop. Do you see a way to do it? Even though
Yeah, but then he just
Yeah,
he
you will
would
pin
just
your
pin
queen.
with the rook. Yeah. Well, he pinned with the rook, right?
G6. Okay, let's just.
So what about knight to e2 with the idea of going to g3?
You know what? Just go bishop to d4. We don't have time. I'm sorry. Bishop
All right.
d4 with the idea to attack the rook, and if rook g6, you're gonna go queen f2 and rook g1 and try to exchange everything. And
Okay.
yeah, just I don't want to lose on time with we are like a rook up or something. And yeah, now you
No,
wanna
I
go
got
here.
this. I got this.
And not gonna mention more moves, just that I mean he's so much material down. All you need to do is beware his threats. He's obviously
Oh.
threatening your queen. You want to move to a square that protects both f3 and h2.
F3 and h2. Okay.
There's only one square. Okay, there's also queen g2, but this is the obvious square that's not really bad.
This is
There's
scary.
no x-ray. Yeah, it's a little bit stressful, but rook g1 is coming next. Yeah, you want to exchange everything.
Yeah.
You're so much material up. His only chance is to win on time. So I'll try to help you out to avoid losing on time without
No,
saying
we're
much
not gonna-
moves.
we're not gonna let
continue
that
your
happen.
plan.
Yep.
Okay, you can pre-move bishop takes or king takes, it doesn't matter. Just pre-move one of them. And
Yep.
okay.
Whoa. Okay.
You can exchange if you wish.
I do wish.
Yeah, and bring the knight back with tempo. Like you can take, yeah, take
Okay.
a free pawn.
You take a free pawn. What?
Knight back. This is not a free pawn. Bishop can take on c7. That's the problem. Okay, you missed it. Bring the knight back to the center. Come on, quickly. Knight back. Yeah, sorry about the time pressure. Now you want to go f4. No. You want to go, let's say, knight to d1 maybe. You just bring it back. Knight d1 to e3. Okay, 13 seconds. Knight e3, almost a pre-move if it doesn't capture you. Like, okay. Bishop f5 is a threat. Knight g7 is an idea. You can just capture if he lets you. Okay, you can try to bring your queen. Okay, knight f1 is an idea. 7 seconds. Knight f1. Knight f8 check. Almost a pre-move. Oh no, knight d8.
I don't know why I did that.
It's okay. Knight f8 check. Knight f8 check. No.
No, this is terrible.
Okay, king f1, bishop g1. Only 10. Knight f8.
Shoot. Oh,
Okay.
no.
It's not a big problem. I feel like in a way this was the natural way for the game to finish with the time pressure. And we kind of, we learned our lesson from this game. I don't feel like we were like effective enough at just
Yeah, that was
finishing him off.
he was sharp at the end there. I felt like he was playing better at the end than he was at the beginning.
Yeah, I'm becoming better at losing.
All right, let me
and I mean
call
it in
out
a good
somebody.
way.
Yeah, that's good. It's a solid trait to have. I'll be right back. 1 second.
Okay, so in the meantime, I'll mention that I wanted to put the matzah like I did last year when I was recording a game against King Crusher, and the title of the video is Power of the Matzah. It was a really nice video. I think he played the Bangkok Gambit. Here's some honey.
All right, back to the grind here.
Yes. So I'm learning so much, Catholics celebrate Passover. It's interesting.
I don't know if we celebrate it in the same way, but we recognize it. It's like
Well-
it's like the precursor to Easter.
I'm not sure if I technically recognize it that much. I mean I like the idea behind the holidays rather. I mean the family and social part of it and community part of it.
The specifics of the holiday are actually horrifying because
Yeah.
if you wanted to avoid your firstborn being slaughtered by the Almighty God, you had to
Yeah.
make a red X in lamb's blood on your door or something like that.
Yeah.
Wasn't that it?
It's basically like, if you want to summarize the story in 2 words, it's like fear me.
Yes.
Okay, don't rush too much. Okay.
So what do I do here? I don't even know.
You don't want to allow him to grab space so you can capture. You will have to move the same piece twice. And now
And then
he's
what
threatening, so you want to...
Bish.
Yeah. You want to block the pin with tempo. Develop...
Normal development.
Yeah. I'm not sure if we have time, but ideally I would like to play g6, bishop g7, yeah?
That's what I'm gonna do.
Let's see, I mean, it's probably bad, but let's try.
Well, now you tell me.
No, I mean, it's bad for concrete reasons, and, I'm not gonna complain if he finds the reason. And actually, this is how you improve in chess. You try, to test the limits of how how rude you can be in the opening to try to achieve many things, and sometimes you fail and see. Okay, so you can make a move with tempo. So the tempo is what makes the difference between the two captures.
So that's tempo,
Mm-hmm.
which means I'm gonna castle on this
Okay,
side.
this is a great opening position. Now you can develop with tempo. Once again, do you see?
Develop with tempo. Oh, on B1 or B8.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put the
Alright.
rook on an open file.
All right. Okay.
A generally good move is also h6 to ask the bish politely what's he gonna do. And
You're nomming on something over there, huh?
so you can, okay, you prevented h6, but you can like develop the other dude. I thought I wouldn't imply, but there's a lady and a dude, so I will still tell you the move.
What? Wait. What's
I
that?
was trying not to say the name of the piece, but there's a male and a female involved.
He's making some questionable moves. I don't like the moves he's making.
Okay, so yeah, but they're
So we
solid.
can't do h6 now because he's obviously got that
So
thing
maybe
over there.
go out of the pin. Do you see a way to do it?
I mean C1.
8, yeah.
Oh, C8. Yeah, I get mixed up sometimes. So I don't want to take that. I'll let him have that for a minute.
Okay, you generally
Okay,
don't
so-
want to exchange this bishop. He's protecting your king.
So my bishop isn't doing much on this square. So what if I put him on like G4?
No, the bishop on g7, you don't want him to exchange it.
Oh, I don't want him to exchange it.
No,
Well, why is that?
because it's protecting your king, and he's like a monster. He's on the long diagonal.
All right, so I'll just politely ask him to move on the next move then.
Yeah, and without this bishop, your dark squares around the king will be weak. Remember what
Gets a little
Swiss mate was in the previous stream? Swiss cheese mate.
Oh, Swiss cheese mate. Yeah,
hmm
I remember that.
And then like the dark squares are very weak because the pawns are all on light squares. Okay, so now you can
I'm gonna ask him to
improve.
move.
Nice. That's what I wanted to mention. Like you can improve your piece with tempo, because knight h6
Yeah.
is a strategical threat. And then if he moves, you can move it, centralize it with another tempo.
Centralize it with another tempo. But what about bishop to D4?
It's not threatening anything
Oh yeah, you're right.
because f2 is
all
protected
right.
by the knight.
There's another tempo.
Okay. Now you can probably move your pieces a little bit more to the center once again with tempo. Do you see a piece that can move to the center?
I see a bish
Mm-hmm.
with tempo.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not sure if it's winning a pawn, but it is a tempo because he has to acknowledge it.
I got another. I can. Oh, he
Okay,
did
so
that. Okay.
now we want to move our queen to a little bit more active square if possible, yeah?
Yeah. So probably D2.
Yeah, but I prefer b7 actually. I mean d7 and b7
Okay.
to the right because you want to have this squared for the knight so he doesn't get trapped. In
Oh, I
case
see.
of f4. I mean it will
That's
not
what
get
you would
trapped.
call. That's what you call prophylaxis.
Yeah. Okay, now you can grab space with some and open the diagonal for the queen.
Yep.
Yeah.
I got
Space
you.
is cool.
Oh, what about Okay, no, never mind.
Okay, he wants to go.
So what's his
knight
threat?
d4.
He wants that square there.
Yeah, but then you will go c6. You don't have to do it in advance. Okay,
Right.
so maybe what we can do is try to find an active plan. I'm not too sure how exactly, but okay, your knight on e5 can go to a very juicy outpost. Do you see some square you can put the knight? You can bring it, like maneuver it from e5 to.
Oh, okay, yeah, to D4.
Correct.
All right.
And on d4 it's much nicer because it's just in the opponent's camp, like it's in his half of the board, so it's already in itself kind of grabbing some space, yeah?
Yeah.
I mean, technically only pawns grab space, but the knight is like preventing him, so it's like, it makes it more crowded for his pieces to move in his own camp. Okay, so you can continue your plan, and probably go c6 next to harass his knight. A nice
He'll
move.
probably. If I mean, anytime a knight is like that far up, That's what I was thinking he'd probably do, right? So
Yeah, but if he exchanges the bishop for the knight, then your dark squared bishop will be even more dominating because he will have no counterpart. Okay, he wants to grab your bishop, so
I don't want that.
you can just maybe go a little bit backwards or forward. Forward is also good.
We're gonna be. You told me to go forward.
You're
so
right, but I mean the only reason I didn't recommend it is this is tempo, and now you have to go backwards again. I mean it's a tactical reason, but you are right in principle. So if I have a theory that if you learn all the right principles with the wrong examples, you'll still become a master.
So I should just probably trade here, right?
No, he's not threatening to capture. He's actually given up a pawn.
He has. I see it.
And if he takes on d4, you probably have to take on e1 first, yeah?
Yes.
I mean, not to lose the rook. And okay, now again, good call because it's a tempo and your bishop is important. And amazing move. You lock his bishop. You open up the queen. You want to
Yep.
now. Okay, let's do quick
Tempo.
tempo. Nice. And another tempo on the next move, improving another piece. Do you see? Like after he moves the queen, you can like improve a piece with tempo. It's like the worst piece that you have. Which one is it?
The worst piece I have is probably the light squared bishop.
Yeah. So how do you put it in an awesome square with tempo?
Oh yeah. Okay,
Yes.
all right.
So this is strategical
all right.
chess, like hardcore strategical chess. You can win games without making a single brilliant move. You just you reinforce your position bit by bit. Okay, now you have a nice outpost for another piece. With
Yeah,
tempo.
I do.
You see,
Sure
all
do.
your moves come with tempo, with tempi. Sorry, plural of tempo. So yeah, I'm learning Italian. Probably.
I like queen to e7 next is looking pretty good to me. It's looking pretty sexual.
I mean, to me, I would like lean towards bishop e5, kind of preparing bishop takes f3, because all your pieces will like look at his king. So
I'm gonna trust you
it
on that.
feels like that if you have bishop f3 now, I mean, in this particular moment, I'm not sure if it's working, but I mean, let's keep it simple. You can like protect your rook. You can protect your rook.
Yeah. What about with the bishop, right?
Yeah, with tempo actually, because you have some threats, and he cannot even capture. So this is a fantastic move. Okay, does he have a threat?
No.
Which piece doesn't work?
Queen.
Tempo.
Freaking tempo.
Move it with tempo. Look
at you, Tal.
That's a great move. I actually thought of queen e7 because I'm like going to h4 and g3.
Crap.
But it's also a great move. Yeah, and this is a good recapture because you don't want to open up his bish. Okay, the queen unfortunately is not creating too many threats here, even though it's seemingly active.
No,
So
that was a waste of a move. I gotta take it back.
I mean, to the same like to some more active squares. I mean, it's not like you made a horrible move or anything. It was a good thing to force the trade. Just queen e7 followed by queen h4 was a little bit less funky.
Oh, he wants to trade. He wants to trade here.
Yeah, but it's not so scary. So I think you can continue your plan. Like bring the queen, and if he goes bishop c1, then you can like I don't know start. I think like generally if he has no threat, okay, actually a good move would be just to strengthen your position. So like bring the queen farther to the center, centralize your queen.
Okay, so it's e4, e5.
Yes, 5. And I think pawn takes generally is more of a problem for him than queen takes because okay, he's still not threatening much, so you can grab space on the king side. Just make useful improvement moves like this kind of opens up your king, but okay, it's still fine. I was leaning towards h5 and king g7.
Okay.
Still, you can move the king or maybe even play
queen with tempo.
Nice, but he has this. It's nothing bad happened. Now we want to move the king a little bit to a safer square. I think like not to the center because the queens are on the board.
I
Okay,
can
so
force a trade here, right?
yeah, but I'm not sure it's a great idea. I think f4 is a good move to just reinforce everything. And now queen a1 followed by queen a2 is a threat. And
Oh, is that a good move for him?
I don't think so, but okay, let's be methodical. So now you have many ideas, but there is one that like wins a pawn with tempo. Do you see it? Like some
Yes.
two move tactic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So even though you're a pawn up, I mean, grabbing a second one shouldn't harm. I mean, your king is a little bit
And then
loose.
I'm threatening mate now too.
That's true. That's true. Made in one. Okay, now the trade is even better for you. You can trade without thinking twice and bring your king via the dark squares to the center. Yeah, and now bishop can be rerouted. Okay, he allowed king d4. Never mind. And you can penetrate his position with the king. And now, which piece doesn't work?
My bish.
Okay, bring it.
I'm bringing
Maneuver
it,
it. It will
bro.
take you 3 moves, but it's worth it.
So D7 to F4 or F5?
f5 to, yeah, exactly.
All right.
Bishop f5. So we are accelerating the same questions, just I'm like asking the one question that matters. Good intuition there.
Oh, he's
Exchanging the
done.
bishop. Yeah. Okay.
He's done.
Just start promoting the pawns on the side. I mean, usually.
I got
Yeah.
this. I got this.
Yeah.
I got this. We're good. He's donezo.
Yeah. But just from a principle point of view, it's in the end game, it's a good idea to push the pawns like on the wing that are farthest away from his king. Of course, it's not relevant when you're like 2 queens up, but yeah.
I need to be careful. Mate in one? There is a mate in one. Mate in one.
Awesome.
Hey, Tal. That was awesome. That was a good game.
Yeah. So,
That was a good game.
do you see like the magic behind answering the questions correctly? It's like
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
it's like your brain it's not only you, like everyone's brain has tons of potential as long as it's focused on productive things. Let's be polite. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
definitely.
mean, even I tend to be very distracted, and I like to play while listening to music and so on. So
Yeah.
it's important to focus.
I like to drink whiskey when I play chess, which is a terrible idea. Well, listen here. I'm going to take a quick little 5-minute break, okay? I'll be right back.
Not a problem. Okay, so in the meantime, let us check the tournament situation. So we have on the first spot K2052. And where is Penguin? He was somewhere. I guess he retired from the tournament, or I mean, I wouldn't imagine him not being in the top 5 or top 3. King Crusher is also here with 19 points. Probably streaming. So many good players. I forgot to check which spot we are on. Let me see while I'm eating some matzah. I mean, I would imagine we'll have more points than this. Something is missing. Also, Menir Magia, who's Thomas Beardsen from Holland. A very talented bullet player as well. Hyper bullet especially. I might be playing a match against him in the future. But when I'm streaming bullet, I like to do it on my Twitch channel. For those who don't know, it's called Chess Juice. It's not linked in this particular stream. Okay, so let's just follow the leader because I don't see where we are. I'll check it later. I mean, I'll put it here. Let's follow the game. So this is the leader with black. He has a small advantage. He's playing against an 1800 player, so I think he's gonna win. He's already gonna win a pawn. The bishop is attacking the rook. After the rook moves, he's gonna take this pawn. I will put some music sound with the pieces. Where is it? think it's this one. No. This is not the right one. Oh, this one. So now it's like meditation. I'm also gonna take some mental break. I'll check Hutch's position in the tournament in the meantime. I'm curious on the other monitor, and maybe even follow the chat a bit. Okay, White resigned. Yeah, he lost the rook. So we have almost 300 people following. That's really lovely. Thank you very much for watching my side of the stream. I forgot to link to Hutch's side, and I'll do it in a moment. No, actually it doesn't update while streaming, as far as I know. Never mind. I hope the volume issue is a little bit fixed, because I increased it a bit in the settings. And you don't need to buy a new microphone. This one is really good. I just need to adjust the settings for those who wrote comments about it in my previous videos. Okay, so where was I? By the way, one of my favorite series of all time, called Prison Break, is back with a new season. I didn't really watch it yet, but I'm going to do it probably on my way to Germany tomorrow to the tournament. And while traveling, I like to prepare some series sometimes to relax before tournament. And yeah, new season of Prison Break sounds promising and disappointing at the same time, because honestly I only like the first season the most, let's say, and then it kind of took a little bit of a bad turn, in my opinion. So, searching for Hutch, for his spot in the tournament. I didn't also fix my notifications for the donations, so if anyone wants to kill me, all the haters, this is your chance. What a way to ask for tips. And the sound is like, I'm wearing headphones and it's like I'll have nightmares. It's so loud, and it's only on, it's like the volume is on 2%. I can still do nothing about it. Actually, maybe I can do this. I think it will help. Ah, nice. Okay, forget it. Don't, haters, you don't have to tip me. You will have to find other ways to kill me.
All right, back to the grind. Tal, here we go. Let's get back into this.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out which spot we are on the tournament. We have some pretty good players playing here.
Yeah.
Okay, going back. Let's follow you. You playing?
I am, yeah, D4.
Okay, let's see. It takes a sec. Okay, I see the position. Okay, once again, knight c3, by the way, allows d takes c4, which is a gambit. So technically, taking on d5 immediately is the more precise move order for our sake, for our purposes. So
now, take it now, you mean?
Yeah. Now you want to take, but generally taking on the previous move was even like less dangerous. Remembered? Nice. So I see you remember the theory. So with enough games, you'll probably know all the theory. If you can.
Got a nice little symmetrical spot here.
Yeah, it's called Exchange Slav. Okay, so you know what you can do to break the symmetry in this position? I'm gonna teach you some idea. It's a concrete
Knight
idea.
to, knight to e5?
You can take and then go knight e5 and f4. I'm not sure if it's good, but it's just some idea that that I want to show you.
All right.
And you're okay. Now you don't have to play f4 straight away, but it's okay. Yeah, there's no problem with it. And this is called a stonewall structure. Usually you have a pawn on c3 as well, and he has a pawn on c5, and it's like in your favor that he broke the tension, so to speak. This is a stonewall structure. You see d4, e3, f4. Okay, you don't have to react to this move. You can just develop. Nice. And if he goes f6, you just go back. And well, I'm not sure in whose favor this is, but just want to mention that in the stonewall, the bishop on c1 is your weakest piece. You see, and you exchanged it, so it's good.
Okay.
Okay, now we can continue with our plans. He has no threats.
Prophylaxis.
Nice.
I just don't want him coming in there and bullying my bish.
It's a good move actually, but again, if you castled and he would have bullied your bish, you could have dropped it back. And I mean, remember that this is, if you're preventing something that's not bad, it could be a waste of a move. So, even though it's not directly bad, it's also not necessarily doing something good. Okay, so now you want to probably develop the rook, yeah, to the open file as you did in the previous game in this structure. And once again, he wants the knight on c4. Unfortunately, in this case, you don't have much to do against it.
What if I take take the knight on e4 and then with the idea of moving my other knight? What if I just, you know what? I'm just gonna do something.
No.
Oh.
It was I was just about to say, you have the right idea, but you have to notice the difference.
Oh, no.
It's okay. Let's try to find our way out of the mud. So
Shit.
the first way to address this, you want to mix it up a bit. So you want to attack his knight on a5 with some tempo.
Yeah.
This is not a good tempo, unfortunately, because he can create a fork on b3, but he was too excited. He could have won a rook with knight b3, and he decided he wants to give you a chance to get back to the game.
Let's go.
Yeah, okay.
Let's go.
We've been saved by the bell.
Shit.
Okay, this was a tough ride, but
What a roller coaster, huh?
yeah, it's fun. It's fun actually. It's people say I should play poker. So
Oh, you might like poker, man. Poker's a lot
no,
of
I'm
fun.
just saying. I was just making my argument that this is exciting enough. Okay, so you know what you could do? His queen is very active, and you can offer a trade while moving your pieces forward. So you see where I'm going with this idea?
Yeah. I see.
You want?
I see.
Basically, the reason behind this move is that you want to penetrate with the rook to the 7th rank, and this is your tactical way of doing so. And okay, now you don't have to take. You can probably keep the tension. You can move the knight maybe with tempo. Move it backwards. Yeah. It is backwards, but I prefer to block this pawn. This pawn on d3 is really annoying. Okay, so now I want to double the rooks on the file. I won't tell you exactly how. c3 and c5 are both interesting. I'm not sure which one is better.
C3 is probably a little bit more active, right? Or I'm sorry, C5.
Yeah,
is
but
probably a little
c3
bit
keeps
more
an eye
active.
on this pawn, so both has potential to be preferred by the computer, but I guess we'll never know. Technically now you have rook c5 with tempo. This is funny. He can go queen a2, but it's a risk, yeah. It might be a good move, but it's a risk. So I'm thinking you want to centralize your queen if possible, yeah, because it's not very well placed on c7.
So we're just gonna give up these pawns on the end here.
Yeah, because if he takes rook c7 is winning on the spot.
Okay, so
assuming
you're
you see the
thinking-
same
so you're
move that I do.
Are you thinking queen a5?
E5,
Queen
yeah.
A5?
Yeah.
E5, yeah. Sorry.
Centralize the queen. The most So putting it in the most central square can't be bad if it doesn't lose material. So rook c7 is winning on the spot if you can play it now.
Yeah.
And another idea you have in mind is knight takes e4 now. And it's kind of punishing him. So
we turned this one around, didn't we? Oh boy, this is not good for him.
yeah, now unfortunately it's curtains for him. This is game, as they say.
Yeah, there's no way to stop that.
Yeah, so
I can't believe we turned that around, Tal. That was
it
awesome.
wasn't. I don't want to take credit for whatever happened here.
Well, I can't take credit.
I'm not gonna take credit, but I'm happy that we did it.
I guess that's a good lesson in like don't just resign as soon as you lose a piece, because I do that all the time. Yeah, he resigned right there. There you go.
Yeah,
All right.
it's a nice
Good job,
recovery.
Tal.
That's what I like to call the power of the matzah.
Yes, couldn't have worked if you weren't eating matzah right now.
I do. I am eating matzah.
Ooh, King Crusher's in this tournament again.
Yeah, I mentioned it while you were gone. He's coming after us.
Oh, he was a menace last time.
Yeah.
That was tough.
I mean, I technically lost to him, but you're the one who's gonna beat him this time, or we. So, let's see. This is called the Dutch defense. You want to just develop the knight, and ideally, the bishop is placed in the long diagonal in this particular structure.
The dark squared bishop?
The light squared bishop. I mean, you want a castle
Oh,
first.
Okay.
So this is a typical play in this variation. Yeah, this is actually a good exchange for him, or let's call it a double-edged exchange, because it's very important for him to control the e4 square. Okay, this is looking like developing with tempo, but he would have gone d6 anyway.
Yeah.
Regardless of your move. So I'm not too sure, but I mean, technically you can try to, like, you are leading by like development by one move, so you can try to open up the center. Do you see?
How do I prevent him from getting knight on e4?
You cannot, but this is the point of his trade. He has full control of this square, but you have other squares in mind. Okay, so you have the pair of bishops, you are leading in development. How do you open up the position? And don't play it, just tell me the move before you do.
Pushing on c5.
That's correct. And d5 also looks a little bit tempting sometimes, but it would have allowed him to close the position. Okay, so now he's not really threatening anything, right?
Not that I'm aware of.
So maybe we can just develop the rook to the open file, yeah? I mean, this just
I like that idea.
the regular follow-up. I mean, I am allowing him to take a pawn. We are allowing him, but it will, like, his pawns will be doubled. Okay, now he wants to take back with a knight. So I guess he's kind of forcing us
to take on d file.
Yeah, but it is technically in our favor because it opens the position for the pair of bishops. However, the c3 pawn is a little bit weak, so I'm thinking maybe to push it so he won't block it. I mean, if he would have gone rook c8, rook c4 and doubled his rooks on it, it would have been very painful. But now you can protect it many times. So we're grabbing space basically. We make the pawn who's a weakness hopefully become a strength, yeah? On c4 it limits his pieces and we have a lot of space. And remember, the main factor in this position, it's not a joke, like the pair of bish is a real thing, you know? I didn't mention, maybe some viewers don't know it, that it's like one of the deepest concepts in chess. Nice, but there is a tactical flaw to this move.
Shit.
It's a good idea though. I guess
No, that's not good either.
Yeah.
I'm just making this worse, man.
I mean, let's move away from the pin and protect c4. Yeah, do you see a way to do it?
Yeah, just d3, right?
Yeah.
Queen to d3.
So your idea was right, but I'm glad I let you make this mistake because I mean this is the way you learn. I mean you make your own intuitive moves, and this is how your brain can, in the long run, can learn to correct itself.
Well, he berserked, so maybe we can
Yeah,
drag this
definitely.
out.
It's far from over. Now we have two bishops. I mean, we had two bishops versus one bishop. Now we have two bishops for like a rook and a knight. It's not in our favor, but it's like less balanced. So
What about knight to e1 and then just push him off that? Well, I don't know. I don't like him on that fucking.
yeah. Knight back is a good strategical idea to grab space. Like you want to go f3, or not necessarily immediately. You can put the knight on c2 next, and just like implying, like winking to his knight on e4. You know.
Yeah.
Like implying that he has to take care of himself. And these kind of moves are provoking thinking, which you want. You can maneuver the knight farther. No need to force the game. The real prophylactic master is just improving his pieces. So, nice. He will probably play queen c7, and then you can protect the pawn with knight e3.
c7, 93. Okay, all right.
So, yeah.
Why wouldn't he push his pawn though? Like,
This one? Now
No,
f5 is
so-
hanging actually. He kind of missed it, I think. He just gave up a pawn, so it's already. Yeah, I shouldn't have mentioned it. I was too excited.
No, that's okay.
But it's not against the rules. It just prevented Hutch from learning, which should be against the rules, by the way. So if he moves the queen, then okay, now this is a tactical position. Don't rush. You can afford to think for even 2 minutes. So in this tactical position, his knight on e4 is hanging. Your knight on f5 is hanging. So yeah, now king g7. So he will not lose a piece, but like the result of actually no, wait. I see a nice move, but it's like
Okay, bish,
Where?
dark squared bish, c1.
awesome. It's a fantastic move because it does like 3 things at once. It's like
It brings my bishop to a more active square.
so these are the 3
protects
things.
the
It
knight.
protects the knight, it prevents knight g5, and it provokes us to say bish on stream, which is always good. So now I think we could let's calculate, okay? So his knight is protected for the moment, but if you capture on d5, then it's not going to be protected anymore. Is there any reason to avoid it? He will have knight c3 then. This could be referred to as a reason. You know what? There is another move that I see, but again, I will not tell you the move bluntly. But I mean, it comes with tempo, and it opens
F3?
up the most luxurious diagonal on the position.
Ooh, okay. Alright.
Interesting. I didn't think of this move. The move that opens up the diagonal that I thought about was d takes e5.
Okay.
I wanted to play bishop b2 at some point and have the bishop on against his king. Okay, now it becomes a little bit complicated, but I think we can handle it. Okay, let's move the queen to the most active square. Before you play it, can you tell me what it is?
Probably f3, if I had to guess.
It's one of them. But there is one that attacks more squares / pieces. So I prefer to put it like via the diagonal and end the file. So it looks a little bit geometrical, I would say.
Are you talking about a3?
Yeah. It's
Oh,
like
okay.
you want to move towards his king, but just like concretely here, you're attacking his rook, and after he moves, you're gonna take maybe. I'm not sure, but an idea would be to take the pawn on e5, and then your queen has many threats uh, if he moves his queen. Anyway, he sacrifices the exchange, which is a good call. But before you take, you can play a move with tempo. Do you see it? It's like developing with tempo because one of your pieces is
Oh, yeah.
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 So
Okay.
and I mean he does have queen c5 with tempo, which kind of prevents him from losing the rook. But I thought that now, I mean, taking something might be worth it. Do you see something you can do, like take something?
With tempo.
Yeah, nice. And he doesn't have a convenient way to block with the rook with tempo because both of your bishops are like in his face.
Yeah. That's the power of the bish, man.
Yeah.
I've been
This,
saying that
I mean,
this whole time.
if we need a title for this video, we don't. But if we were, the power of the bish. Like on your end, it's power of the bish. On my end, it's power of the matzah.
This doesn't look too bad for me. Even though I'm down on the exchange, I don't feel like I'm doing terrible.
I mean, he's
right
almost
now.
made it.
But he can just move his rook up to D7, right?
Bishop takes
Oh no, he
d7.
can't.
Yeah.
He can't. Yeah.
I mean,
Wow.
he has to give up a full rook or play king h8, which will allow knight f7.
Oh, this looks juicy for me.
Knight f7 is a fork.
Yeah.
And I
that's what
mean,
I'm
of
saying.
course, we could grab the rook with the bish, but we want to maintain the pair of bishops on the board, so we can like make this fork. It's very unpleasant for him. And now he has to move the king. And actually, a nice tactical move in this position. I'm not sure if it's the best, but it looks really nice. It's to put the bishop on a very attacking square instead of taking the
Ooh,
material. Do you see it?
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh.
So
he's hurting.
this is a very holistic type of play, like very spiritual, because like you ignore all the pieces that are hanging.
Yeah, dude, I love
And-
that move. That's my favorite move.
Yeah, you're just like saying him, like, I don't mind your rooks. I have like 2 bishops, and they're gonna mess you up, boy.
Okay, so
Now you have an idea.
I got all kinds of stuff.
Ah, nice. This is called a windmill, by the way.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait. Then no. You can afford to think for even 3 minutes because you can mate him by force. Do you see it?
I
Just
can
calculate in your head.
All right. Let me think about this. So. Oh man, this is so good for me.
Tell me the move before you play it.
What about bishop to dark squared bish to e5 right now?
Usually when I say forced, I mean like literally forced, that he cannot.
Okay.
Like it's usually with checks. So
Okay. Let me think about this. Let me get the mate. I can get it. All right. Yeah. But knight to g5.
and if king h8,
And then just mate.
and if king f8 instead,
Still mate.
nice.
All right.
Still
Great
mate.
news.
I love like the moves. Mate, still mate. It's like I mean,
Yeah, it's either gonna be h7 or f7 there.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
right, that was a fun game, Tal. I
Cool.
think that was the funnest game.
yeah, I
so
was
far.
like the moves that you played that were other than what I was thinking, they were very deep and I didn't see them, and they had a
Yeah.
lot of attacking potential, as you've seen. And it's
Little
like,
do you know that I was actually doing more calculations than you were in that
Yeah.
spot. So I knew the whole time that sacrificing the exchange would be fine.
attacking is like, I mean, I'm sure the computer would say that like most of these moves that I wasn't thinking of that you played are not necessarily the best, but there is such a thing called the practical value. It's more important than the objective value of the move.
I mean, what do
uh,
computers know, anyways?
yeah, and like against humans, it's very difficult for them to play when you're attacking them and so on. When you have the initiative, with especially.
Oh, let me do it. I want to do the Falk beer. I'm doing it.
How did you call it?
The Falkbeer counter gambit.
Okay, don't rush.
I know this line. I know this
Okay.
line.
This move, I'm sure you don't.
No,
Yeah.
I do. It's yeah, I don't know.
I don't know
I
it
think
either.
It's push, I think it's push again here.
Okay.
Actually,
Okay, I trust you.
I could be wrong.
But he's gonna grab your pawn. Probably you can grab f4 and then it's like material equality, yeah? Oh no, well, okay, yeah. I was imagining something, yeah. Knight takes f4 is correct. I mean, you have to grab the pawn back. I was imagining he has queen a4 check, forking the king and the knight. But it was illegal. Okay, so now you can go back to central square. Or
why don't I develop a piece?
Or
and
develop
protect
a
him?
piece. The reason I didn't want to develop a piece because in case you're thinking of bishop d6, knight c4 will force you to separate with your bish.
Yeah.
So it's the good strategical move, but tactically it just doesn't work.
We're gonna go back here on this one.
Centralized is more important. So e6 would have been like a little bit more active, but it's not that this is a bad move or something. Okay, so the bishop should be developed so you can castle, but where?
Probably just e2. No.
e7 is possible, but both d6 and c5 are more active and you
I'm
don't
going
lose
here.
it. So it's your choice. I don't know which one is better, but as long as you put it in the central square, then you're on the right track. Okay, we have
Look at this
opposite
guy.
color. Opposite wing castle is gonna take place.
Let's be flexible here.
No.
Oh,
No,
we don't even have
flexibility
time
is
to be
before he castles. After he castles, no more flexibility required.
All right, so I should castle kingside
yeah.
then.
Yeah.
All right.
I mean, technically it probably wouldn't lose now, but it's extremely fishy because he could bring his pieces sometimes via some tactics very quickly. Okay, now you want to develop the last pieces that you have. You want to start with which piece normally?
The knight.
Sure. And now after he moves, you can go centralize this guy with tempo.
Yep.
Okay, you'll probably go queen g3, which is a very attacking square.
And then I just push this pawn to h6, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've never heard of or encountered the Falkbeer counter gambit?
The fact that I was laughing kind of
I learned
implied.
I learned it in a coffee shop because I was playing against these old time, like really old school chess players that always played the King's Gambit.
Yeah.
And I wanted to learn an opening that they probably hadn't learned yet. So I studied that opening for a little bit. Apparently I didn't study it enough because I completely forgot
Yeah.
what the lines were.
That's a nice name. Okay, so I think he's attacking your knight. I'm thinking about what might be the most active way to address his threat. Probably to develop. Wow, but wait. He wants to play bishop takes h6 too. The sneaky opponent of yours. So there are ways to handle both of them.
I'm gonna do this.
Yeah. Okay, this is the simplest, but just mention. And now bishop h6 is a threat, yeah? So this is a good move. Queen d6 was another idea, but then he would have had bishop f4.
Yeah, I didn't want to be on the same file as that rook.
Okay, does he have a threat?
No, I don't see any.
He's threatening to win on the spot.
He's threatening to win on the spot.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What, with like knight? You're talking about like knight to... What are you talking about? Knight to g5?
No.
What the hell is he threatening to win?
So when the opponent has a threat, many times it's related to the bish.
Yeah, I still don't... yeah, no, I still don't see it, man.
I got time.
Oh. see. Okay.
So, what is it?
Yeah, he wants to go to bishop to c3.
That's true, and then queen g7 or losing your queen is inevitable. I'm going
So
to
what if
offer you a move. I mean, it's a nice defensive move. There is not enough time to like reach it via logical thinking with 6 minutes.
Bishop to d6.
That's actually a good move, but this was my idea. But I want to start with like an intermediate move that I find extremely funky. I'm
Knight
gonna tell you the move
d4?
because it's really difficult to come up with. Bishop
Alright.
a3.
Bishop to a3, huh?
And the reason is it's a prophylactic move against bishop c3 because it pins the pawn. You see, it's very, very deep prophylaxis.
That's clever.
And he fell for it.
He did.
So my point was that
That's incredible.
I forced him to play c3 and then I wanted to go back so he wouldn't have there will be a pawn there.
You are brutal.
Okay, so now wait. Of course you can take things and give some checks, but generally he has no threats, so you can just develop with tempi if possible, yeah? So do you see a development move that might be...
Yeah, with tempo. You're talking about my bish?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah, bish. Look at that tempo. That's
Nice.
a beautiful tempo.
That's a sexy looking tempo right there. Okay, so now there is some tactical point that you need to see, and this was like one of the reasons bishop f5 was such a good move. It's like 3 moves calculation,
Okay.
very forced.
All right, let me look. So probably one of the rooks to the d file right away, right? Because I'm threatening mate if he
Nope.
takes.
No pity, do pity.
Okay.
It's extremely forcing. When I say forced, you think in terms of take, boom, boom, boom.
Okay. Oh, okay. I can win a rook, huh?
Nice.
Yeah, I got you. Look at me go.
Yeah, baby.
Look at me go.
Okay, he wants to bring his knight to f5. We still want to be like kind of prophylactical about this, so you can kind of prevent it by moving forward in a sense. So your queen is a little bit out of the game. You can bring it back while preventing this move.
We sure can.
Nice.
Sure can, Tal.
And if rook f3, then rook d8 check, yeah?
If rook f3, then what now? Say that again? Oh,
Rook-
yeah.
Rook
Okay.
check, yeah.
Yeah, you're doing a good job of what do you call it? Of guiding me to the right moves. Today was good.
Thank you, sir. I'm doing my very, very beast. Okay, wait. He's attacking your queen. Can you go away with tempo?
Yeah, well,
It's a deadly tempo, my friend.
a deadly tempo.
Yeah.
I'm looking at queen to c1.
This is not as much of a tempo as another queen move. Some might refer to it as tempo-licious. Tempo-licious,
I don't know.
actually.
I don't
Wow.
know. I don't know, but we only have 2 minutes here.
It's
I
with a
have no
check.
idea.
This is my... Don't rush. It's with a check.
With a check. How the fuck do I?
It's an
check
invisible
it?
move.
Oh.
Nice.
Okay.
He has to go king b3. Okay, now you want to continue the attack. So we want to
I
bring
sure
some
do.
piece to the center with tempo.
Oh, I sure
Nice.
do.
The next, there is a typical idea that you kind of used to find very easily in previous streams. You like to do it, as far as I can tell. Like, which piece can you bring? No, bring a piece.
Oh, rook lift.
Nice, rook lift.
Boom.
Yeah.
Lifting.
From my perspective, rook lifts are your thing.
Oh, they're the best.
Yeah. I
They're
like
so much
the
fun.
new term I just invented while you were in time pressure. Tempo leeches.
Tempo.
Tempo plus leeches.
All right.
So,
Oh, this game is fun.
yeah.
Another fun
Okay,
game here.
he's threatening mate, but you can give checks in the meantime, yeah? So, but be careful.
Yeah.
So you can give a check while going away. And now you have to be careful with which moves you choose. The safe choice would be to probably...
Oh, I got this.
Okay, be careful. He has rook b3 with tempo.
I know.
Be careful. Don't rush the next move. You have mate
Okay.
in 2 moves. Actually, it's
Okay,
not.
so-
It's not. Okay, it's correct. Mate in 2 moves.
Knight
It's-
check. Knight check. Knight
Where?
Check.
Where?
Knight check on c2. No. Knight check. Knight takes pawn.
No, there is a better
Knight-
move. To the center.
Okay. I don't know.
Knight check.
To c6, you mean?
Correct. It's
Okay.
actually not mate, but I missed that queen e5. He has queen takes e5, and after rook a5, he also has rook takes rook to b5. But I still have a feeling we have some very forced mate coming along. One moment. Let's go back with the queen to f6. Just we still protect from the mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was probably your move knight c2 was even stronger. I thought queen e5 was mate, but now you're threatening queen takes f5, which is gonna be mate in fact. So I think the only way to prolong the game for him is queen takes g7, into which you're gonna pre-move queen takes g7.
King takes g7.
I mean queen. If he takes with the queen, yeah, take it. King
Yeah.
takes pre-move. Actually, don't pre-move it. You know what? Okay, it's fine. No harm, no fall. Rook e8, rook e5 is coming next. Yeah.
Rook e8. Yep. Rook e8.
Yeah, rook e5.
But then he's gonna push his king and attack my
Yeah,
rook.
but I mean, then you go king f6. You're gonna create a mating net. Rook e5. Maybe king f6 next. If he takes on c6, you have rook e6 check.
If he takes on c6. Oh, yeah, there it is.
Okay, now you
All right, I got it. I got this.
got
I
it.
got this. I got this. I got this.
You got this.
This is easy. Easy peasy. Oh,
And-
he didn't let me. Oh.
Yeah. I'm taking my
Yeah.
wisdom hat off at this point. Yeah.
Well, technically we have time for one more, but I actually have to get to some things, so I think I gotta call it there.
It's fine. It's fine. I think we don't have much chances to win the tournament. Let's just quickly mention how many points we have.
How many points do we have? What is it?
Actually, I don't know. But
21, 34. Are you talking about my rating, or are you talking about?
the rating is 21-34, which is a new record, I believe, or very close to it.
It's just an incredible rating for your boy
Yeah.
here. Yep.
But I was thinking from the tournament standings point of view. But so many strong players are playing, I think it's a waste of time. Okay, number 25, 17 points, but we still have the flame. Remember the flame?
Yes.
We have won many times in a row, so like if we were to continue playing, the games would double from points point of view.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Okay, so
Well, do you want to plug anything before you leave my stream here?
yeah, thank you. So okay, there are the regular things that I have in the description of my channel. You know, Facebook page, all these things. Subscribe to YouTube, Twitch. I have a channel by the name of Chess Juice. But the real thing that matters is that I have a Patreon page, and people who support me on Patreon will help me reimburse my expenses. It's very expensive to play in chess tournaments, and will indirectly also support me and help me continue to make a daily video for a very long time to come. I want to do it for the coming years, but it's hard to keep the fuel going, so this will really help. I don't have any day job, so That's
Well,
it.
there you go, guys. If you're interested in supporting Tal and if you're grateful for his counsel on this stream, then check his Patreon page out and maybe throw a buck or two at him a month if you can.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah,
And,
Tal, it was really good playing with you today. That was a lot of fun. We had a bunch of good games in there. A lot of really sharp positions.
Yeah, this was awesome. And maybe in one of the next times we meet, if we happen to meet, then we could let's check some of the games. Games analysis are very important. And
Yeah, that'd be great to go over some of my old games, and maybe you can give me some advice.
It's
on
important to
how
have a
play
balance between playing and analyzing games. So
Yeah.
So this is
Definitely.
very important. So thanks a lot once again for hosting me. And
Of course, yeah. Are you staying live? Because I can. Are you staying live right now? Or are you getting off?
Okay.
Oh, you are.
Yeah. A little
Okay,
bit.
I'll give you a host here. I'll give you some. It's Chess Juice. Is that what it is?
Actually no, I'm on YouTube, but
Oh, okay.
okay, maybe next time.
Maybe next time. Yeah, if you go live on Twitch, I can host you afterwards. and give
Okay,
you a
cool,
little juice
cool.
that way.
Thanks a lot. So
All right, cool, man. Have a good day, and I'll talk to you maybe next week or the week after that.
Yes, awesome.
All
See
right,
you.
take care, Tal.
Okay, so Hutch is off. So this was really nice. I think like we had some very instructive games this time. Of course, if there's any problem, anything that I need to improve or that you disliked about the stream, you can tell me. I saw a lot of activity in the chat, and still 250 people watching. It's insane. So I mean, I can't even imagine standing in front of 20 people and like 250 of you are just sitting, hearing whatever nonsense I have to say. So it's very humbling. So let me see. There's something that I wanted to call very quickly. So we have many new subscribers. Normally in regular streams I like to call you all, give a shout out to all of you, but in this particular one I don't feel, I mean there are so many of you, so I'll say like an overall thank you in this particular case, because we have so many viewers live. And yeah, let's quickly mention again, PJ Pablo donated $5. Thank you so much for supporting me. And as I mentioned before, you can find my email on the YouTube page. And if you wish, you can join the Patreon rewards for whatever amount you chose to tip me on the stream. So just email me mentioning your username here and that you wish to join Patreon, and we'll take care of it. And I'll also quickly mention the Patreon page and then go off the stream. So, and probably I should first address the video from yesterday. I kind of forgot about it in the meantime with all the excitement. So it was a very emotional thing for me to do, very big step. And I've received so much love and so much support from you guys. I imagined like the majority would be like disappointed or negative about it. It's like, seems like those who watch me on my channel happen to like what I do. And I just wanted to mention that I'm not worthy of this love. And if it wasn't clear in the video, I am intentionally telling you half-truths about what happened. And if anyone cares about the details, I mean, I'm not gonna solve all the speculations because there's a reason I didn't reveal all the truth. But the truth, like the right point as for why I'm not saying all the details is hiding somewhere between the comments if you're very interested to discover. And as mentioned, I took a big step, but it's not a full step of confession, and it's not a I don't deserve any praise or love for it. I just want you, like, okay. So here's what I want to do on this topic. To say on this topic. Thank you for the donation. The music, the volume sound is fixed. So $10.59 from Alzone. Thank you, Tal. I follow your work. With Tal, I guess you meant to say with Hutch. I watch your stream from France. Thank you. Pas de souci, mon ami. I believe might be a response. So as I was saying, so regarding the confession and your response, again, from ethical point of view, I'm not criticizing anyone, not the lovers and not the haters. I'm just saying that they're both two sides of the same coin. You shouldn't be extremely positive about my confession nor extremely negative. The right way to address it is to be indifferent. This shouldn't concern you. I mean, I did it in order for me to feel more peaceful and to put it in the past. I felt like it was the right thing to do. I felt like it was a good way to address all those who ask me why I'm not streaming on Title Tuesday anymore. And again, because my following starts to build up, I sense that I can't behave like an individual anymore. I have to realize that I am setting some example to many people, and I have to first of all set an example for myself for what it means to be a man or a good person or whatever you want to call it, or a human. I don't want to sound chauvinistic or anything, just to be a good human. And I'm not saying that I am. Just want to believe that I attempt to take the steps, some steps, even if not the very big steps right away towards let's call it integrity. And it's about me. It's not about you forgiving me. Of course, I would like you to, but it's not about those who hate me to stop hate me. I kind of knew, and now it's confirmed that most of them will not change their mind. The main thing here is that I did it for my own sake. It was a selfish act to make the confession, but it wasn't egoistical from philosophical point of view and from my perspective. So it was a selfish act. The correct way for you, if you are in any way interested in being moral on the topic, the correct way for you to address it is to be indifferent, to probably not mention it. There is nothing attractive about the drama. I don't understand why so many people are so happy about gossip and topics that are flaming or whatever, however you want to phrase it. The drama has no value in it. In this particular case, there's nothing further to be learned, and as mentioned, indifference is the perfect way to address it. And indifference. So it's not that I don't appreciate all those who show the love. I do. I just thought that this is my insight that I had a few hours ago on the topic, and it's inspired by a comment that I don't remember who said it, but he mentioned in that comment that this topic is between me, chess.com, and the players involved, and the fact that I chose to make it public is for my own sake, but it's not technically your business, even though I made it your business. So being indifferent would be a huge favor for yourselves, and I think in the long run also for me, because obviously I want to put it behind me, and even those who are positive and will remind me of it in the future, even if in a supportive way, I don't want to remember the negative emotions that keep surfacing every time this topic is brought up. So I feel like it's, as I mentioned, I'm very happy to have received all this love and support, and I'm very surprised also. And from the, let's say, when I woke up after having published the video, I saw a storm of comments. I read all of them, and even all the comments on Reddit, including the hateful ones. I think it wouldn't be fair to respond like I usually do, because if I respond to one comment, I would prefer to respond to all of them, if possible. And yeah, maybe I'll find time for it in the future, but not in the coming days. As I mentioned earlier, I'm traveling to Germany tomorrow for Grenke Chess Open. I'll post some links. I'll attempt to still do a daily video, even though it's going to be very difficult with 2 rounds per day. And yeah, I have a lot of ideas for new types of videos in mind, and I'm gonna put a lot of effort in this channel in the future. So I hope the daily video model that I have right now will be beneficial for the viewers, as I explained in the I hate marketing video. Yeah, that's for this point of view for this topic. I hope it makes it clear for those who didn't understand. Indifference is the best way to deal with it, and I mean it in the most polite way possible. I don't need your forgiveness. My main challenge is to forgive myself, and I'm still in the process of doing so, because I know the entire truth, and it's going to be a process that will take time. But after having said it publicly, to the most part, I feel like I can start with the healing process rather than repressing it, and I'm in peace with the fact that I with my choice to not reveal all the details. So I hope those of you who understand and trust me will put it aside, and those who will keep asking for the speculations and to me to confirm different things will not be offended if I ignore you, because I will prefer to be consistent with my decisions, especially when I think they're more ethical. So and now the more relevant topic, in my opinion, the Patreon page. So I'll just say it quickly. I've taken enough of your time. So I started the Patreon page. Why? Because I'm a professional chess player, or at least try to be. I'm not as good as I would like to be, rating wise and skill wise, but I believe I should be good enough. I mean, my rating and level should be considered good enough to make a living as a chess player. Unfortunately, in our world, it's not working this way, and it's impossible to rely on the prizes in the tournaments, especially because I don't live in Europe. I live in Israel, and every flight is expensive, and I have to pay for hotels and food and so on. So on average, I have to pay between $400 to $800 per tournament, and I'm playing, or at least intending to play, on let's say every month and a half or so. So it's like at least 8 tournaments a year if I can afford it. And the reason I opened the Patreon page is not to get rich off of your backs, as I mentioned, is to reimburse the expenses. And my idea is that I will put a lot of efforts into the rewards, that hoping to make it worth more to you, more than the value of the money that you're contributing. Let me know if you think otherwise, but this is my intention, especially for the first tiers up to $30. And the idea is that it's gonna worth, I mean, in my opinion, okay, it's let's just, I don't give private lessons, but if I were, I would have charged at least $80 per hour, if not more. And some of you might think it's expensive, but again, I'm not giving lessons anyway. So if I were, and for those who, for example, will choose to pay $15 and receive, or 20, and receive access to like 4 different things, with one of them being a 1-hour lesson with me, will benefit from it. The only difference that I'm not going to give it as a private lesson. I'm going to prepare a lesson and give it to a group, and keep it as a private video on my channel until I find a more, let's call it, encrypted way of doing so. And I will share this video with those who are choosing to support. And I think it's a win-win, because I don't have to spend all my time teaching. I can do it I can do the streams, like only 4 streams per month. All of them will be related to my channel. So if you didn't realize it already, like I have 4 streams for the $25 tier, and each one of them will be on the channel sooner or later, and each one of them is going to be indirectly or very directly increasing the educational value of my videos and my content on this channel. And probably the most important part, on top of all this, on top of reimbursing my expenses, on top of you guys improving your chess in a way that I think might be economical for you, and on top of promoting this channel and supporting it directly, because the streams will improve the content for those who don't pay money or can't afford it, or just enjoy the content. There is a very important 4th point that I'm not sure if you will relate to, but to me it's I find it the most relevant. And it's not only about the money, it's about me doing what I do for the best of the community. I don't know if all of you believe me, but I know at least half trust me when I say that I'm not attempting, I don't think I'm a greedy person, and I don't need much, and that I find it much more logical to invest my time in this channel and help thousands of people potentially to improve, even if I get nothing in exchange, than to spend it having a regular day job which helps no one and I get paid by the hour. And I'm not sure if I have a gift or not, but some people seem to like it, and I want to continue do it on a daily basis, not to make money or to have it as a job. I just feel like it's out of the options available to me, this is the one that I can do that will contribute the chess community the most. And I want to keep making a daily video for many years to come if I can. And I feel like right now I'm doing it because I'm very motivated, but from what I know about how human motivation works, and about myself especially, is that it doesn't last forever. It's like fuel. And of course I appreciate you watching, and of course I appreciate you supporting me with words, and I appreciate those who already supported me with actions, whether it's those who did some graphics for me for free, or sent me some music, or decided to pay money either via the tips or Patreon. I want to mention that it's not only about this type of support, it's about the fact that studying chess, I study like openings and so on, playing chess, most of the time I spend is not on screen. I don't get paid for it. I play in tournaments, I get paid very low for it. Sometimes I lose money. like none of my activities is done for the sake of earning money, and I'm intending to keep it that way. And probably for selfish reasons, but I feel like in the long run it will also benefit the community if I'll be a 2700 player streaming for you. And I feel like these videos on a daily basis, they take a lot of time and energy from me, and I don't think there's an amount of money that I can receive from it that will be equal to, for example, giving private lessons. But I have no doubt that this is the right thing to do, because it benefits many more people, and especially those who can't afford private lessons. And it seems to inspire many people, and also kind of grants me a stage and obligates me to be a much more a better version of myself in a way. I have much more responsibility and I like it. So I want to keep doing daily videos, and whatever will fuel me is any form of support. But if all this support will not worth much if I will not be able to afford to pay my bills in the long run, or travel to tournaments, or pay for food. I'm not expecting you guys to do it for me, but I just feel that the general idea of losing money when I play in tournaments abroad, it's extremely absurd, and it happens regularly. So even this bar you see up here is basically, I'm gonna play the European Championship in Minsk this year in like a month and a half, and if I don't win any prizes, which is very likely if I play like my rating, I'm gonna basically lose like $800 for the sake of my improvement. And chess is very expensive if you're ambitious and not as talented as you as you should be. And I want to consider myself as a hard-working person, but again, if I'll keep losing money, I won't be able to do these videos forever. So this is the main thing. So these 4 things I think are very good reasons, and I'm actually, the only part of this entire thing that I don't like is that I have to use this external website called Patreon. I think in the future I will create my own website, so it will be like directly between me and the viewers, and there is like no middleman in the process. But for the moment this is the best solution. So yeah, and as I mentioned in the video, I hate marketing, and but at least this type of marketing that I'm doing right now feels like an honest and informative type of marketing. I'm not trying to trick you into giving me your money. I'm just I'm informing people about something that I do, that I'm offering you, that you might not know about and might actually like doing. So I'll elaborate on this topic in a separate video. I'll call it my YouTube rules, and I hope I will be able to talk about it less and less as time goes on. And I don't want to waste anyone's time, because even if I inform like 20% of you, probably the rest already know about it. So that was it, and I had a little bit of things to get off my chest, as you probably have seen. Once again, I really appreciate the support I'm receiving in all of its forms, and some people sent me very, very heartwarming emails, and I'm very happy to be a part of it. I feel very fortunate. People seem to think I'm good at chess, which is the most rewarding part, maybe, because I never considered myself to be exceptionally good at anything, and it feels nice. Some people think this way. So that's more or less it for now. Still 150 of you have survived. I see a lot of complaints in the chat a lot of complaints about the monologue. I guess you guys are new. Wow. Agadmator is making an interesting point. I want to read it out loud. By the way, there's this guy who does great chess video, and he has a channel. It's called Agadmator's Chess Channel, and I'm actually intending to do a series soon enough, 2 separate series. I'm not sure when I'll find the time, but one of them will be like recommending smaller YouTube channels, at least for the moment, those who have less subscribers, so to speak, and another series mentioning bigger channels, and it will focus on chess, but also I'll mention other channels that I really enjoy watching and being entertained and educated from. So I'll read Agadmator's message. Tal, man, stop this apologetic nonsense. You do great work, sorry. You should get paid for it. It's only logical. Stop apologizing. I was apologizing as I read it, so I think I'm a lost cause, but that's another perspective on it. But I think some people think I deserve to get paid, but even if I don't, there is a reason. If you don't think this way, there is a reason to support me, because I honestly believe that indirectly it will support the chess community in the long run and bring more people to chess. And yeah, this is all very good stuff. So so many kind words. Come on, stop wasting your energy complimenting me. There's no reason. I'm already overwhelmed with love. I think I'm gonna explode soon enough. So if you want to spend your energy on something, then maybe go to leeches.org and start I forgot to mention it with Hutch stream. Every time I tell myself at the beginning I'm gonna mention leeches and how amazing it is, like a few times, and I keep forgetting. Okay, I'm glad we have a few more streams coming up. So for those of you who still know, probably most of you came from leeches, but I'll just inform you a little bit. It's an amazing site, and it's open source, so it will always be free, and it keeps improving. It asks for no membership, and you have many different awesome features available, and many awesome features. I will do like a series of videos actually, probably explaining about them and also being taught about them by one of the site's admins in the close future. And you can, you don't have to do anything. You can just press leeches.org, you press register, you put your email, you put your account's name, a password, that's it. You can start playing forever and ever, tactics trainer and many other awesome things. And this site was probably one of the best discoveries that I've made in recent years. It's like forgot the term in English. It's like a gold mine. Exactly. It's a gold mine of opportunities, and the tournaments there are awesome. So just if you like chess, just go to Leeches, start a user or an account, sign up to some random tournament and play chess all day long. Don't forget to analyze your games afterwards. This is the way to improve while having fun. There is no doubt about this. So yeah. Okay. What is Leeches ACC? So for those who don't know, it's in the title of my video. Leeches.org. The reason Leeches is so good is because it's open source, as I mentioned. For those who don't know, it means that nobody owns it. It belongs to the public. Each person is welcome to. It's like Stockfish also. It will always be free. It's like it belongs to the public, and each person who wishes to do so via some process can do some programming and offer some improvements and help improving the site. And it's like different volunteers from around the world are helping to make this website the best website that ever was created. And of course, there are other awesome websites, but again, what I love about this one is that it's open source and it's like going to be free forever, and supporting it is a good idea. And I think it's probably a good time for me to mention that even though I'm losing money, like with my regular chess routine, like going to tournaments and so on average I lose more than I earn with prizes, at least in the past couple of years. I want to mention that if you happen to see my video from yesterday about chess.com, I mentioned that I've won $1,300 in the prizes, and I was thinking for a long time. I mean, I really tried to give it back somehow. I couldn't, and I don't feel like I've earned it, and I don't like I didn't fully earn it, which is the same like not earning it at all. The majority of the games, as I mentioned, were just me making moves, but as I feel this money was won by wrongdoing, and it's not mine to spend. And I feel like it's a good time to I'll probably do a separate short video to announce it, to have more people know, but it's a good time to say that, especially since the whole 150 of you more or less are from Lichess more or less here, that Lichess do, like, the site does have expenses. They I don't know exactly what they are, but from what I've read, it's like something between $300 to $500 a month. It's like for servers, how you call it, like the domain and everything. And I'll check on Google Translate. Maintenance, actually. No, I remember. So maintaining the servers is expensive. I don't know exactly why, but there are like 20,000 people like at any given moment almost on the site. So they do have expenses, and one of the best things you can do if you have a few dollars to spare, even more than supporting my channel, in my opinion, an even more noble way to invest a couple of bucks is to become a Lichess Patreon. And I think you can put like $5 a month or something, and they are going to give you winks next to your account, which is a very good exchange, I believe. And normally I just want to state that from what I've learned, at least in Jewish tradition, like from philosophical point of view, the most ethical way to donate is to do it anonymously and not brag about it and not let anyone know. But I feel like I have this stage and I can use it, not for my own sake. I don't want you to appreciate me for announcing that I'm going to donate $5 a month. I want you to take example of it. I don't deserve any credit for doing so. It's not even money that I have earned, but I want you to realize that it's an important cause, especially for all those who love chess and want to support chess. The best way you can support it is probably from supporting lichess.org, and I'm going to mention it in a separate video, and if more people will know, it might inspire more people to do it as well. And again, don't credit me for doing it. I don't deserve any credit. I don't deserve any compliments. I'm doing something that I consider to be the obvious thing to do. This is not my money to keep. I received it from chess.com by wrongdoing. Okay, I offered to give it back to chess.com. They didn't want it, so I'm gonna give it to lichess.org over the coming years. Yeah, I understand it's not the perfect solution, but if it will inspire more people to do so, it might be a decent way to bring it back to the chess community. And yeah, that's what I wanted to say. And so it's been very fun. I went way off track with this stream, but I know like potentially thousands of people will watch it, so maybe even tens of thousands in the coming years, if I'm very optimistic. So I want to exploit this stage to let people know. So how selfish of me. Alright, so choking on matzah. So without further ado, I have some Prison Break episodes to find, and I'm not sure if I can find a way to watch them. They don't have Netflix in Israel, so, and I'm not even sure if it's there. So anyway, thanks a lot for watching. It's been a huge privilege for me to say all those things and have people listening, and I hope you enjoyed watching this video, or at least learn something from it. And if you want to learn some more, then